set this thing up. Type live. Why isn't this working? Get it. I'm not sure why, though. Live. Yeah, I'm not sure why it's like that. Let's see. Yeah, it's not. This is a disaster so far. Yeah, go to your videos, nothing. Playlists. No. Type live. Dude, what the fuck? What if I go into studio? Is anybody even on here? That's a good question. Yeah. All right. I'm trying to figure out how to change the thumbnail because I made a thumbnail for this and I can't figure it out. And then I'll put it on the table and it'll actually look not like shit. I threw this together last minute. So, I did it before. Live. View channel. Yeah, there we go. Okay. No. Edit. Okay. Okay, we're figuring it out. Thumbnail. Boom. Boom. Got him. Don't test it. All right. That's good. Hit thumbs down. Sorry, I am texting somebody and then, but it's 2-0 Diamondbacks. All right, let me set up the TikTok now. Let me move all this. If anybody is here, thank you for bearing with me. As I try to desperately find love via TikTok of all things. All right. You're about to see how messy my apartment is. There are the hockey sticks. Move the blanket and then we'll set up the TikTok. I'm gonna have to move this over actually because my phone is plugged in because I have an older version of my phone. I have the 14 and the 17 came out today. So let me see if I can get it where I can actually. Nope, that's not it. It's weird when I go into the YouTube studio, I can't see any comments. it says like, oh, like it's broken. And not that I'm expecting a lot of comments, but if they happen, I kind of want to be able to comment and pay attention to people. All right, let's go to view channel, customize. No, that's not it. I'm fucking up left and right. JT's up, by the way. Live, and we are going to go in the studio. Did that work this time? And it did work. Look at that. Live chat. We are thriving. Okay. I have never in my life been good at doing live chats. And this is going to like my movie channel, my movie TV show channel. The recaps. How about you? Let's go on TikTok now. And let's do how do I do this? Live. Phillies versus D-backs. Watch along. All right. I think we're finally like kind of all set up for all two of you people. So let's put that there because my phone is charging. I actually had somebody on TikTok ask me like, "Hey, are you going live tonight?" I was honored by that. I do hate though that for whatever reason in my apartment, the lights, it makes it look like the Lord is shining down on top of me, on my phone at least. So, but hey, Brandon Marsh is up. So Diamondbacks up 2-0. What's everybody up to this weekend? We get the Walker Bueller piggyback today. Which apparently Rod Thompson was like a huge fan of that joke. I mean, I would have made it. I feel like the Diamondbacks are one of those teams where they're just kind of like I don't really know them all that well, and maybe it's because it's a West Coast thing, but I don't know. I just like this guy tonight, like Ryan Nelson. I'm like, who the fuck is Ryan Nelson? But then again, maybe it's a me thing. Maybe I just don't know ball. Oh, it's good. TikTok's like doing its thing and just like having the algorithm throw. I'm on YouTube, and then for you guys, for all two of you, maybe. All right. And then once my phone hits like 80%, I'll switch it over. It's fun when you start on TikTok because once you start going live on TikTok, the first 3 minutes is nothing but people popping in and me being like, fuck this dude, and popping out. So it's always like fun because you see like all these people join and then you look up and it's literally like one person is watching you, which I have now. But Drunk Philly fan, he'll stick around. He's my dude. He'll stick around. Good hit by Brandon Marsh. I'll tell you what, I have shit on Brandon Marsh so much, and he's been actually like really good the past 3 months. What's up, man? I don't think. Well, let's see, because Walker usually struggles in the first inning. The fact that he only gave up 2. Let's see what he does. Let's see like if he can. I kind of took it as a positive. Taijuan Walker is and I'll change the angle of this once my phone hits like 80%. But Taijuan Walker is a number 5. Like he has a 4 ERA. No, Drunk Philly fan, you're the best. He's got a 4 ERA. He's probably overpaid. $17 million, like no doubt. That's probably overpaid for a number 5. But like that's kind of what you expect from a number 5. It's like a 4-ish ERA, like low 4. So I do apologize about the light situation in here, making it look like I have angels just shining down on me. I don't know what it is about the iPhone picking up streaks like that, but and one person jumped off of YouTube. They were like, we're not doing this. But you know what? Like you guys, TikTok was always way more what's the word I'm looking for? Interactive than YouTube. Every time I've gone live on YouTube, it's been a struggle to get like anyone to say anything. And then it's awkward because I'm just sitting here just talking to myself, But Alec Boehm's up. with Brandon Marsh on first. So see what happens in the quest for the best record in baseball. I haven't checked any of the scores today to see what anyone's done if they could catch ground. Milwaukee. New iPhone 26 up. That's what people have said. People have said, like, man, like the update is not good. Like, I haven't downloaded it because of that. But I feel like this happens with every iPhone update where like the update sucks and then Apple has to go in and change a bunch of shit and and then like it kind of gets okay, but yeah, I've held off on updating it. I actually need a new phone because I have like the 14, but I ride phones into the ground personally. 3-2 count, by the way, 1 out for Alec Boehm. It's not like Saquon, who the real 2-6. Yeah, my mom texted me today. My mom like is not a football fan at all, and my mom hit me up and said, "Saquon was on Good Morning America. He seems very nice." I was like, "Yeah, he's the fucking man." But it's weird though when you see video of Saquon, like in a game when he's shit talking, it's like I'm not used to that, because he's so like humble and nice, and then like when he's shit talking, you're like, I didn't even know you were capable of that. But I'm surprised that we're 2 games in and he doesn't have 1,000 yards. He's a 100-yard game yet. But I mean, Casey stacked the box so much they blitzed a ton. What's everybody think about all 2 of you guys? What do you think about Eagles game on Sunday? Unless you're a Diamondbacks fan, you can tell me about the Cardinals. And if anyone's wondering, on YouTube, we have 2 people watching, which is great for me. More likes can attract viewers. Keep it up. There's nothing I can do, TikTok. I'm not going to beg people to like a stream. That's a double. That's a double. Huh? Go shopping in the Gap. Get a gift card. Wave them around, Dusty. Look at that. It's 2-1. Boom. Double machine. Let's go. I'm ready for but now you're not, are you? No, take that back. Take it back. I think, in all seriousness, I think the Boehm situation, I think a lot will tell you about Boehm with what the Phillies end up doing. Still, I think what they end up doing with Aiden Miller, like Aiden Miller's playing shortstop. If he can make the throw from third, you're probably more likely to put him at third base next season. He's at AAA right now. They called him up for the stretch run for the Iron Pigs for the playoff hunt. But if you are the Phillies and you have a guy locked into 9 more years, yeah, you're going to probably transition your 20 next season to give me 22-year-old shortstop that has like close to 60 stolen bases and his on-base percentage is insane. AJ Brown's out Sunday? Are you serious? With what? Why is it that, like, I live on Twitter? This annoys the shit out of me. I live on social media. I live on Twitter. And the 3 hours that I have to be like a dad because I stupidly had sex twice, and now I'm paying for it. Like news breaks. Head concussion. Oh, heard concussion. Gotta watch Kirsch last race and dude, I get it, man. I totally get that. David, 100%. I'll tell you a quick Kershaw story. In 2008, I mean, I've always been a big like prospect nerd guy, but in 2008, following along prospects wasn't as well. Like it wasn't as popular as today. MLB.com now, they follow along with like top 30. At the time, it was like Baseball America's top 10. That is it. And I knew Kershaw was on the way. I was following him in AA. And I think the first game of the Phillies season in 2008, it was either 2008 or 2009. I went to go to the ticket box. Oh, wow. What a stop. Dude, that's an incredible play to end the inning. Perdomo that's a Jimmy Rollins play. So I end up buying tickets for the Phillies Dodger series. And The Dodger series was like in like July or something, and I'm buying them in April. My buddy was like, "Why the Dodger series?" Like, he couldn't quite figure it out. Someone said because he said, I think it's because I apologize. We went through this before, dude. I apologize. Hit thumbs down for butchering your name. He said he's healthy. He said he's healthy. Now you're saying concussion. I don't even know how he could get a concussion. He wasn't even like he caught like 3 balls. All right, back to the story you didn't ask for. So my buddy's like, why the Dodgers? And I was like, dude, they have this left-hander coming up that's really good named Clayton Kershaw. And my buddy starts, he was one of these nerds that had the scorebook or whatever. He's like, dude, like he's not on the roster. And I was like, oh no, he's in Double-A. Yeah, no, he'll be up though. And I kid you not, by the time that game rolled around, Clayton Kershaw was coming in relief. Gave up a home run to Pat Burrell that game. But my point is, yeah, like I was ahead of the curve. So maybe the one time in my life I knew ball. Because thank you. We don't need people scaring. We got fake news over here. Dude, I'll tell you what, man. If spreading lies like that gets you taken off ABC, it's a horrible joke. I really tried to like mix that in somehow, and I just forced it too much. I forced that Jimmy Kimmel joke way too much. Because thank you. Delconi, what's up, man? I don't see anything on AJ. Yeah, I don't. I was reading Twitter. I'm not. You don't take me as Adam Schefter. Just lies on here. Sorry, guys. My lady was on Facebook with. Oh my god, dude, you got done dirty by Facebook news. What are you, a boomer, folks? Like, dude, you got done in by Facebook news. Guys coming into the TikTok stream talking about Facebook news. I'll forgive you because you've been a day one supporter, but man, that's a tough look for you. I love the fake football. Yeah, I've loved the everybody's conservative uncle sharing the like Jordan Love donated $5 million to Charlie Kirk's family. And it's like they're sharing it, not realizing like it's complete lunacy. And it's ironic because growing up, like I'm a millennial. I think a lot of you guys are probably millennials. Growing up, we were told like you can't believe everything you read. Don't believe everything on the internet. And then fast forward to 2025, and all of our parents are just believing everything on the internet. And now it's trickling down to drunk Philly fan, even though he might be living up to that name. He might be drunk. All right, Taiwan Walker, 1-2 pitch. Here we go. Why do you keep coming on my For You page, but not on? Wow. I was reading that whole thing. This is why you probably should read comments beforehand. Honored by that comment. I don't know what to tell you. You did get me. DMs are open. You got me so good on that. I just stopped midway. That's like when they prank. I don't know if anybody knows who Michael Bisping is, the UFC commentator, but they'll prank him with like shit like that all the time. Oh, Steve. Look, man, we're just a bunch of adults on a Friday night with nothing to do but watch Alec Thomas and his 249 batting average. Which, by the way, first pitch swing and fly out. Good job. Good job on that, Keith. Got me. What am I at? 44%. My phone is charging at a snail's pace because I hate this angle that you guys have to look at because it's just awkward. It's dark. But if I put on the lights, it'll be even worse. So I think I'll be doing one of these for the Eagles Rams game, by the way, but it's going to be tricky because I have my kids with me. So you're going to see a whole new Pat. You're going to see a stressed out, policed out talking about Lego Harry Potter Pat. Jalen Hurts this season so far. I mean, he's done what they've needed him to do, you know. It hasn't been flashy, and I have him as my fantasy quarterback, so it hasn't been great. But like I think all right, 2 outs. I think the way he handled the Chris Jones thing about like you don't even have 100 yards, he's like won the fucking game. Like I think that's kind of what Eagles fans look at too. I mean, unless you're betting. But the thing with him is like I know he's got it in there. He's kind of taken what the offense or what the defense has given him, and they blitzed a ton. With that said, I don't think he played well on Sunday. I don't think he was very accurate. He was under a lot of pressure. I don't know how much of that is the play calling. I mean, the fact that they ran one play action fake and it was in the fourth quarter was ridiculous. But yeah, I don't think he was particularly great, but he did what he had to do to win the game, and I think he's been fine. Like I mean, Philly fans, I feel like at this point are just like we don't even care about the argument. Good job by Bryson Stott. Really good play to end the inning. 2-1 Arizona, by the way. I think a lot of Philly fans at this point are just like, we don't give a fuck about the argument of like, is he elite? Is he not? Because all they do is keep winning. And I kind of saw all I needed to see from Jalen Hurts in both, not just one, but in both Super Bowls. The dude balled out. And this is coming from a guy that was such a staunch Jalen Hurts detractor that had to just eat shit because he was proving me wrong. And, I was on the radio saying, like, the dude can't read a defense. And then a year later, I'm like, well, he got hooked on phonics. So that's a really, really, really long way of answering your question. I don't think he's this game manager that people make him out to be, because I've seen it. I've seen him just dice teams up. I think he's just really good and really apt at taking what they give him. And I really do. I think it's cliche to be like, oh, winning's the only thing that matters. But we all know, like, that's not true. We all know that, like, these athletes care about their stats and, they've got bonus structures in the contract. And I'm not going to tell you right now, this is a really long answer for you guys. I'm not going to tell you that it would be different if Jalen Hurts was on another team. But I think that the way the Eagles have it structured with rewarding good play, i.e. like Saquon Barkley getting a raise, Eagles didn't need to do that, right? Like, they didn't need to give him a raise after what he did last season. He had signed a 3-year deal. He's in year one of it, but the Eagles reward him for that. I think some players realize with this organization that if they come up close to their number and the team's well and they played well, they're probably going to get the bonus that it was in their contract. Or they'll get rewarded in some kind of way because Jeffrey Lurie is just that kind of owner. But that allows a guy like Jalen Hurts to not go out there and force throws and try to get his numbers up to reach, an arbitrary number of a bonus structure. And that's me really spitballing that because I do believe that Jalen Hurts like really only cares about winning because he's already made his money, obviously. But yeah, that's a long way of saying I think he's played well. Man, 45 minutes later, we're in the third inning. Jalen just easing into long season, a.k.a. Joe Brock, Jaden, Justin. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, 18-1 the last 19 games is insane. You're correct on that. I don't know what I'm start flash goal. Sure, whatever. Start flash goal. They're telling me to start a flash goal, so we're starting flash. I don't know what these are, by the way, but I'm just clicking buttons. Trying to get caught up to everybody as YouTube went out on me. There we go. 1 out. Wait, I'm trying to get caught up. Getting spicy. Did that. What is your job now? Are you on a radio? I'm not user 817-8034-887-084. I'm not. Truth be told, I got burnout of doing sports radio hot takes and stuff. When I got let go, it was May of 2024, and I was at that point. We were going into the dog days of sports radio, meaning baseball season. That's a good shot. Go. At least be a double. Yeah, all right. Double by Harrison Bader. I was kind of burnt out, and I didn't feel like doing the OTA talk and the forced. I've said this before in these chats, but like notice how the top 10 elite quarterback lists and stuff, all that shit always comes out in like August because there's nothing to talk about. And that shit gets people talking. I don't want to do that. So when I got let go, I kind of took a break from sports talk. I wasn't interested in joining WIP. It's not like they reached out, but like, it's not as easy as like, oh, somebody's available, I'm sure if I reached out, they would have put me on weekends. I didn't have any interest in doing that. So to answer your question, I have a YouTube channel called The Recaps. That is monetized. And then I started a sports channel in April, which is not monetized. You can hit the link in my bio for that, and it will take you to the sports channel where I have scorching hot takes, but I just need subscribers. So if you could just help a guy out and just click the subscribe button. I don't care if you watch anything. I had a scorching hot take about Jordan Davis that people on, what is that site, Blue Sky, were like arguing with me, and I'm like, you can argue with the wall. But yeah, that's my answer. I'm not on any radio stations. I do this. I have YouTube. Like I'm live on YouTube now with you guys. And YouTube has 3 people because you're just checking people, being like, no, you're spreading fake news. But yeah, that's what I do. I apologize for missing that question earlier. Delconian, are you buying the skinny and beat hype? Lack of a brace is honestly shocking to me. I am terrified of the lack of a brace, and meaning like I'm at the point where wrap that dude in bubble wrap and just get to the playoffs, and I'll be happy. Um, but I've like I did a video on my YouTube channel about Embiid probably 2 months ago about like it's absurd to me that people have forgotten how good this guy is. He is a 7'2" Cameroonian unicorn. He is the most talented player we will ever see in a Sixers uniform. So am I buying the hype? Like I bought the hype. I bought more stock in Joel Embiid. Like when this guy's healthy, he is the best player in the NBA, bar none. You know, Jokic is great. Don't get me wrong. Two-way player, like he cooks Jokic. So, but I'm always going to be concerned. Every fall that he takes, I'll be concerned. And I think a lot of Sixers fans are like that because the guy finds new ways to get injured, and it's not his fault. He's 7'2". He broke his face twice. Like that's crazy. Jake McCarthy, Kurt Angle walk-up song is legendary. I don't know what it is though. I'm not a big wrestling guy. Brandon, what's going on, man? Dude, I was like not a fan of the Bader trade. You know, rip him for like pink and purple. It's just not a good look. But yeah, he's been unbelievable. Like that's a sign of like Pat doesn't know ball. We're gonna give a Mitchoff Red Army jersey. Good question. User 8614-277-104904. I think honestly the easiest way to do it is to get a Red Army jersey and then go to a place and get it stitched on the letters, and like hopefully that works for you. I don't know. I mean, someone's got to be making them, right? The problem is you don't want to get like one from Timo. You don't want to get one that looks really, really bad. I went to a Flyers game last year and I saw a kid with a Mitchkov Sochi jersey. Little weird because it was in the bathroom, but I had to tell him like, dude, that jersey's so sick, so sick. Drunk Philly fan, thanks for the heart. Not sure what those means, but thank you. Aaron, thank you for saying you miss me. You might be the only one. Davis is subpar. Are we talking like which Davis? I get so enwrapped in like these stories that no one asked for that I forget what I even talked about. Only NBA jersey I ever bought. Joel Embiid? Is that what you're talking about, Steve? Were you married before? If you don't, no, yeah, I was. We're still friends. Jordan Davis, yeah. Jeez, that tells you right there. Like my short-term memory is terrible. Was married, split a little over a year ago. We're still friends. We're amicable. There's like no bad blood. I see the kids. Like I live within like a 7-minute walk. See them every day. They're sleeping in my room right now, so that's the only reason I could do these. But yeah, was married, and now I am. I'm shocked to say it, but like my number one dating app is TikTok. Like I can't buy a win on Hinge there was a girl on Hinge that I was like in love with, but she checked out. Played hard to get, and I still don't know what the hell happened to her. But yeah, like Bumble, Tinder, Hinge, like tried it, no real luck there. And then like the bites that I do get, once they actually look into my profile, and they're like, "Oh, you're kids." Like I'm not interested. I'm like, well, yeah, like your boy was laying the wood twice, you know. So there's your answer on that. Taiwan Walker is so frustrating that Steve, somebody else, drunk Philly fan in the second inning was bringing up like he's got to go, and look, he's got one more year left on his deal. I get it, but keep in mind, like he's a number 5, and he's pitching like a number 5, whereas in years past he was pitching like a number 10. You know, his ERA is respectable. It's 4. He's pitched better than Aaron Nola. Like I can't believe it. I have more faith in him than Aaron Nola right now. So I think part of the reason why I say that isn't just like my strong disdain at this point of Aaron Nola. It's the fact of like Taiwan Walker, at least I feel like after the first inning, kind of settles down. You know what you're getting. With Nola, you have no idea what you're getting. He's just I gotta switch this. Whatever he had, 51%. All right. Once this thing gets down to like 10, I'll put it back. But I hate looking at you guys, and then I'm over here on YouTube. So let's switch this up. Move the tray table and put that there. You guys can see my suitcase and my hockey sticks from last night. Hopefully this works. Hopefully. All right. Hopefully this works. Kind of worked. 2 guys on, by the way, for the Phillies. In the 3rd inning. There we go. That kind of worked. All right. We're good. YouTube, for the 3 people that are watching, I apologize. You have to deal with that. Would you want to get back into sports radio or no? I mean, I'd like the steady paycheck. That was probably the best part, was every 2 weeks you knew you were getting paid. I guess I got to grab that tissue back there eventually. Because that's probably a bad look for me. Hit thumbs down. But for the Fanatic, I'm going to tilt this more. Can I tilt it more? I don't know if I can. That might be as low as it goes. For the Fanatic, I would, if the current program director was out, which he'll be out apparently after football season. I mean, I love the Fanatic. I got a lot of love there. I grew up with the Fanatic, got married to the Fanatic, had kids when I was at the Fanatic, like truly grew up there. But the current program director can eat a dick for all I care. Like, fuck that dude. WIP, yeah, like I'd go there if they called, but they haven't called. I haven't called. I haven't reached out. Like, so yes, but I also, while my sports channel is not monetized yet, because I'm like halfway there, the way that YouTube works is you need 1,000 watch hours you need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours to get monetized. I like the ability to just do what I want. If I want to talk MMA, I don't have some 68-year-old guy being like, talk Eagles. Like, because the reality is, and we all know this, sometimes there is no talking point with the Eagles. They won. They were supposed to win. See you next week. But in sports radio, you have to come up with a 4-hour topic. You just have to. So I kind of like that aspect of it, but I need to get more active on it. And I have during football season, but there's little things I can do to be more active with it. Okay. Nola is one of the worst pitchers in baseball right now. Like, truly. As a Mets fan, anytime I want to start against the Mets at Citi Field, yeah. If you're a Mets fan, you probably would rather have Aaron Nola at this point. Nothing worse than Philly fans. Yep, we are the absolute worst. We eat our young. We're terrible. You should see my criminal record. I still think the Mets do end up making it. That's a fair assessment. Nola's been shaky. I'm like trying to catch up to everybody. I still think the Mets end up sneaking in. Nothing worse than a Philly fan. Yeah, we addressed that. Mets. Not surprised, though, with how bad Philly education is. Hey, just because we have a TV show about it doesn't mean it's horrible. My kid's school is actually good. He goes to a Philly education. You guys are the worst fans, totally. Oh, my God. Paris, we're, like, truly the worst. I love this. The guy comes in my live, and he's like, you guys are the worst, so just shut up. Yeah, okay. Fuck off, dude. So just shut up. You guys are the worst. Oh, Philly fans suck. Oh, my God. Stop talking. Jesus. This joker just yaps and doesn't read the comments. Not you anymore. All right. Let's go with block account. Yeah, go Birds, dickhead. Fuck off. Like, oh, this guy just yaps. Get off, poser. Like, what are you doing? It's Friday night and you're coming into a live, wondering why I'm quote yapping. What do you do? Would you like this for 4 hours? Literally just me watching the game. Oh my God. Get off, poser. Just shut up. I wish that dude nothing but the worst. I appreciate level-headed Phillies fans. I mean, so there are some of us. And trust me, I'd like to talk shit about the Mets, but because of last October, I really can't. But hey, let's all be nice to each other. Paris Jackson. Pappy Jack, the future 76ers point guard great. Yeah, I remember Paris Jackson. You still talk to John, Connor, Andrew? Yeah, for the most part. Andrew more than anybody. I talk to Andrew. Honestly, I probably talk to Andrew like close to every day because me and Andrew and Jamie are in a group chat. So amongst a couple other guys, but like yeah, we talk quite a bit. Paris must be a Braves fan. Somebody hurt Paris. Like someone deep down from Philadelphia hurt. He might be a Chiefs fan, but somebody hurt him. Like somebody in a Jalen Hurts jersey like banged his girl or something. But first time, long time. Does Topper get fired? If I don't think he gets fired, I don't think there's any shot in hell he gets fired. I will say the same thing about Topper as I say about Kyle Schwarber. I have a better chance of being on the Phillies next year than those two not being on the Phillies next year. Taiwan Walker 3-2 pitch strikeout. That's good. I love it. Drunk Philly fan and the Mets fan are just going back and forth at each other. You guys are cute. Lindor Grand. That was the Lindor Grand Slam, which every Phillies fan could have seen coming at that point, is why I wish Carlos Estevez nothing but the worst. I mean, I loathe that man. That man had an ability, and it was impressive, to go out there and give up runs if they were inherited. But if they weren't inherited, they're now on my ERA. Oh, I'll be shut down now. Like fuck that dude. I was there. Starling Castro. You guys are great. You guys are just like arguing amongst yourselves. I do think they bring back JT. I think JT's close to a lock as Schwarber. And the reason I say that is because couple reasons. So the way that JT handles the staff, they love it. Like they're obsessed with the way that he handles the staff. And the biggest reason I say is because they had an opportunity this season to give his workload a rest and play their backup, Rafael Marchand, more. And they could have made the case of like, look, we're going to let JT walk. Marchand is ready, and we're giving him an opportunity. And because in 08, Carlos Ruiz was like the number 8 hole hitter. But they didn't do that. They didn't give Marchand much of an opportunity at all. And they really relied again for like the 7th year in a row heavily on JT. I don't know how you let him go. He's really well liked in the clubhouse. He, as I said, the pitching rotation loves throwing to him. I saw a story from Dan Straley when he was on the Marlins talking about JT, and it kind of gives you like an idea of JT as a catcher. But they were playing Jose Bautista, ironically, when he was on the Mets. JT went out there and he's like, "Yeah, you just want to fuck with this guy." And Straley was like, "Yeah, I guess. Like, what do you want to do?" He's like, "Just throw him nothing but sliders." And sure enough, like, struck him out. And then the next time they played Jose Bautista, he went out. He's like, "Yeah, you want to fuck with him again? Just throw him nothing but fastballs." So, like, pitchers love that kind of relationship where a guy is just, like, literally just trying out there to have fun. They don't have anybody in the minors right now. They traded him. Eduardo Tait was, like, the future, but they traded him in the Duran Trio. But even he was 18 years old. He was a long way away. So, I don't know who they would go get. Like the juice at that point is not worth the squeeze of going out and getting an unknown to come in and be your starting catcher when it's just worth it to keep him because I don't think he's going to be a $20 million player. Because he's just, I mean, with his bat now, he's not. So that's a long way of answering that. I apologize. All right, let's see. I'm trying to find the ones that are directed at me and not the argument going on. You should visit the morning show at Rally. I didn't even know, Brandon, they were at Rally House until I saw a reel. But also, I was probably napping at that point. Or asleep. I mean, were they at the one at Fairless Hills? I'm assuming they were at the one at Fairless Hills because that was the one where they would like always stick us. And I can tell you right now, like we hated that one. But what I mean by that, to be clear, the staff was great. I love Rally House because after Modell's left, we needed a place like that. And Taiwan Walker is going to get out of it. No, he's not. I spoke too soon. Runners at the corner shots. So we had, I remember bringing this up to sales. I was like, we have a rally house in Roxborough, and the station was in Ballackinwood. I'm like, why are we driving 50 minutes to Fairless Hills when you have a rally house in Roxborough that's 10 minutes away from the station? And they're like, that's what rally house picked. It's like, all right. So, and especially for Bob, like Bob lives in Jersey. So like that was a hike for him. But I didn't know they were there. That's, again, long way of saying it. I think, guys, I'm catching up for everybody. Ruben Taha, that's fine. We won. Getting TBD vibes. Oh my God. Wait, who said that? Oh, Tip. What's up, Tip? So her husband is one of my best friends. This is a story again. Nobody asked for it. Runners at the corners. And 2 outs. So last week I was like, oh, that ball. No, I thought that was going to get through the middle. It's not. Taijuan Walker gets out of it. 2-1 Arizona. So last week Temple plays OU, and her husband was one of my best friends. We all know each other from college. And I would drag him to like all these bad Temple games. So whenever they play a good team, it's like, all right, like let's actually like go watch a good team, or good players. So I text him. I'm like, hey, I got tickets for OU. Do you want to go? He's like, I can go, but like I have the kids, and his kids are around my kids' age. It's like 6 and 2, maybe like 5 and 2 or 5 and 1, whatever it is. I don't know. I'm not good at this, but anyway, he shows up. He's in dad mode. He's giving the iPads. Like middle of the second quarter, he's like, all right, we're leaving. I was like, that's it? He's like, they've had enough. They're done. I was like, all right, man. Like, Temple's getting shellacked anyway. It's not like they have a chance of coming back. But it was just such a dad moment of like, this is my reality now. This is it. My reality now is being at the beck and call of a kid. And I relate. I mean, last year I took then he was 5. I took my 5-year-old to a Temple game. And it was like, I would want to say it was the last game of the season. And the weather wasn't great. It was cold. And we walked from FDR because I always park in FDR. It's free, but it is a hike. We walk the 17 miles to It's from FDR into the link. We get in there. We sit down. We're there for like 2 plays before my 5-year-old is like, can we go home now? I was like, no, dude, we're not going home. Like, I could have watched this at home. Like, we're sticking here. Luckily, I found a buddy who ended up having a suite, invited us in, and my kid's mood completely changed. And they lost that one pretty badly. But yeah. 80s. The score, Alex, is 2-1. D-backs. Taijuan Walker seems to have chilled out. I'm trying to get caught up on everybody as I tell these stories that nobody asked for. The war of drunk Philly fan and Boog is going to be talked about in the pantheons of TikTok. This will be discussed. But just know, both of you, I appreciate both of you. Yeah, I'm trying to get caught up here. Oh, all right. Brandon Marsh is up. 4th inning. We have 4 people watching on YouTube right now. Thanks to them. Whoever you are, thank you. For those that are just joining, I am going to respectfully beg you to click the link in my bio and go to my sports YouTube channel and just subscribe. I need subscribers. That's it. You don't have to watch anything. If you want to watch I guess it's a hot take on Jordan Davis being a bust, then by all means, but I just need subscribers. Instead of Radio Wars, we have TikTok Wars. Exactly. Yeah. The sea is tense right now between Boog and drunk Philly fan. I'm gonna stay out of it. I'm not in the luxury of pissing people off right now. All right, so Walker Buehler's warming up. So they did talk about the whole piggyback thing, that it would be Taijuan Walker and then Walker Buehler coming in. So it literally is a Walker Buehler game. But I mean, I would have thrown Taijuan Walker out there for the 5th, honestly, and then have Walker Buehler go out there. But I guess you give a guy 4 innings and then you give the next guy hopefully 4 innings and call it what it is. But I mean, Taijuan Walker settled down. All right. I'm all caught up. Finally caught up on comments. Subscription goal. There's a subscription. I don't know what this is. What's this button do? As we wait for Alec Bohm to hit baseballs. No, we're not doing that. Well, anyway, I feel there was one person in my comments that asked me if I was going live tonight, and I haven't seen her on here. What do you of Billy? I'm assuming that means what do I think of them? Bill's super knowledgeable, super knowledgeable guy. And Ricky's good. Like I like the show. I think if there's one thing I'll add about their show, it's that, and by the way, like this is not an indictment on them. This is every radio station does this. It's we're new, we're doing it different. We're not your old sports radio, and it's the same thing. You know, I mean, they have like a segment that's essentially sound off. And there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing. But can I do a plate outcome prediction? Mav content. I think I can do that for the next batter that's up. Yeah, we'll have fun with it. But please, God, don't bet money on it. All right, so it's Max Kepler's up. I'm going to go with fly out to right. I wish I could figure out a way to like split screen it where I could put like the ESPN, at least like the updated thing, but I can't. Well, I'm sure I can. I'm too lazy to actually like do it. All right, wait. Oh, sorry. Home run. Wow, drunk Philly fans claiming it's going to be a home run. Max Kepler is kind of that guy though. That's like, he's either hitting a home run or he's flying out. He flew out to third base, foul territory. So end of the inning. Let's see if Walker Buehler comes in. But Mav content, thank you for joining. I'm sure Mav content subscribed. Everyone should subscribe. Subscribing is cool. Time for your Fanatic Sports update, dude. Brandon, I hated the Fanatic Sports updates. And I had to do them. I don't know if you remember. I had to do the updates. And when we got this new program director in, the guy who's there now, who's like 70 years old, he was like, we're going to bring back sports updates. And I was like, why? What is the point? And keep in mind, sports updates at both channels are used as a selling tool. Like, that's all they are. Because you guys know the updates. Like, you guys know what's going on. This isn't 1970. We all have Twitter. We all have, push notifications. So he was like adamant, like, we're going to do sports updates. And it wasn't to sell, because what we were doing in the morning show, and we didn't have updates, or we were just saying, this segment's brought to you by, and we would do the sponsor that would have been used for the sports update, meaning the sports update was no more. That's why we didn't do it. And he was adamant we're going to bring sports updates back for like the sports content. I'm like, what sports content do we need? So, but he's the boss, and I had to do him. And he was complimentary of like my sports updates. He was like, it's really good. Like, you're quick at grabbing a clip. If we have an interview of Schefter, you have a cut of Schefter in your next update. And I'm like, yeah, okay. But like, I'm not like, oh my God, thank you so much. Because in my head, I'm like, these are dumb. This is just dumb that we're doing this. Still think they're dumb. I think they're fucking pointless. I think it's an absolute waste. Nobody is looking forward to a sports update. But this guy's like 70 years old, and he comes from ESPN National, where like and you could kind of tell with the feel of the station under his regime, they've turned more to like a national feel with shit like that, with sports updates, where it's like, dude, you have no idea what the listeners want. It's sad. All right. Taiwan Walker is back out, by the way. Sports updates are like every other commercial. Exactly. Yeah, it's every other commercial break, sports update. Fantastic journey. Sure, whatever. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm like clicking buttons over here. But yeah, like the updates of a sports, in a sports station, if it's like breaking news, like you're gonna end up probably like, I don't know. I think they're pointless. I don't like them, is my point. Yeah, and Jay, it is the same update. Like I would write my update. I would have 2 different updates, and then I would just flip back and forth. And until we had a guest on, the update wasn't changing unless there was breaking news, which at my shift was 7 in the morning. There was no breaking news. But it really wouldn't change until we had a guest, and then I could grab a cut from that guest and put in the update. But they're used twofold. They're used to like sell a sponsorship, which they do. You know, the sports updates brought to you by blah blah blah, and then they're used to promote what's coming up. And that's the only value I see in a sports update is the promotion of what's coming up. Nice pitch by Taijuan Walker to get the strikeout. 2-1 by the way, 2-1 Arizona. Walker's definitely settled down. But other than that, like you know, I mean, yeah, okay. Saying coming up next is Adam Schefter. You won't want to miss it. Like that's good, but I just never liked them. I never liked doing them. I was told I was pretty good at them, but still I don't like doing them. Will you ever do duo on here? Are you talking like will I ever like go on with somebody? Yeah, I actually tried to do that with Ray Dunn like last week at some point. I was doing one of these lives, and it popped up of like go live with Ray Dunn. I was like, oh, I know Ray, but he was like, please lose my number. I've got the same shirt with Marsh on the back. I am not a Marsh fan, even though he's been really good lately, like super good. He's shut me up, but I have like 20 of these. I mean, I think this is Suarez, but I'll tell you real quick. I'll try to make it quick. I went to the Phillies game probably like a month and a half ago, and I went into like their pro shop, their team shop or whatever, and I wanted a Christopher Sanchez shirt. They didn't have it. Brandon Marsh, tons. Max fucking Kepler, tons. They had Taijuan Walker, with all due respect. He's pitching well tonight. Taijuan Walker. I'm like, you have a Cy Young contender. Who was ordering these? I was pissed. So I ended up getting Luzardo. But yeah, but ever since they bumped up the price of jerseys to $44, man, I gotta pick and choose. I used to buy jerseys like they were, you know, they were going out of style. Like because they were $20 and now they're $44. And I'm like having to take out a second mortgage for a fucking shirt, you know? I just subbed to my YouTube. Wait. I gotta thank that guy. The YouTube not to be in the echo chamber. Boog, thanks for subbing. I do appreciate it. I think if you guys met and shared some Shirley Temples, you guys would get along. And this is coming from a guy who like the Mets are my most hated franchise in sports. But I do appreciate you hitting the subscribe button. And as again, you don't have to watch anything on my sports channel. Anything. But I just need subscribers at this point. The Phillies and Eagles won. No shit, we know. They are good. They're good. They're a good team. Ray's the man, Mike. Mike, Ray is truly. I'm getting caught up on everybody. Ray Dunn is the man. Although he kind of big time at the Temple game. Like Ray went to Temple. Obviously, I did not. I got a nice letter that said thanks, but no thanks. We're not interested. It's a lot like dating apps. And Ray walked around the tailgate like he was like the fucking czar of Temple with like his 3 buddies. And I'm like, Ray, it's Pat. Remember like the guy that took you to like the Temple Rutgers game when I knew you for like a week? Hi, nice to meet you. No, me and Ray are on great terms. We're supposed to get together this week, and I got to text him, but we are on really, really good terms. I sat with him at the Temple game. I'll tell you now because it's only us girls talking. For Temple, I always end up photoshopping my ticket to get to the club level. So I'll take my ticket, which is usually in like the 100 level, and I will end up photoshopping like C18 in the seat and blah, blah, blah. And Ray was in club level. So Ray texted me his seat ticket so I could get the information to Photoshop it. And then we sat together. And Ray left in like the third quarter. He was getting torched though. I mean, Ray Dunn's a guy that like he needs SPF 1,000. Weston Wilson up, by the way. The pro shop at the Phillies is not great. I don't think the pro shop at the Wells Fargo Center is good. I think the only one that's good is the Eagles one, honestly. It's the shirt with I mean all the girls want the Brandon Marsh. I don't really get it either because Brandon Marsh to me is like Duck Dynasty. I don't think he's a good looking guy, but you know, I'm just a heterosexual male. The Majestic. You're talking about like all. You're right. Yeah. I mean, the Max Kepler thing was like, oh, girls will think he's hot. It's like, dude, he signed a 1-year deal. Like, think. It's not the Majestic brand shirt during the Eagles Chiefs stream that I did, or one. But ironically, I was wearing a shirt that said like postseason. It was from '07, and it had like a Mets tombstone on the back. And I was like, this shirt is like this shirt's 18 years old and it's held up and it looks great and it looks like it did the day I bought it. And the Nike shirts, you put them in the wash a few times and they're already fading and shit. Like, yeah, Majestic needs to come back. Majestic was way, 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 way worse. I do, Jay, hate the Mets more than the Cowboys. And I think probably it's a lot of proximity with it. I mean, Boog seems cool, but for the most part, like, Mets fans annoy the hell out of me. And it's a lot of like going to Phillies Mets games in that 07, 08, 09 era. Like, Cowboys fans in this area, what are they going to say? You know, it's like, you know, they're from like Delaware and it's like, oh, my grandfather was a Cowboy, Roger Staubach. And yeah, they don't really annoy me too much, but it's the proximity of, for me, it was like in that 09 era, it was the wearing, you know, the tribal tattoo, Jersey Shore reject, wearing a Jose Reyes shirt that was 2 sizes too small. Oh my God, I used to get into it with those people all the time. So yeah, Mets by far. My kid will see blue and orange. He's like, Daddy, like that's gross. And I'm like, it's my boy. But once again, Boog seems cool. My major Boog, it was communications, which I will tell you right now, bullshit major. We already know how to communicate. Look, we're communicating now. But it was funny. Like I went to like at the time it was kind of a bullshit college because they were accepting 96% of kids, and it was a big nursing school. But I would like interact with girls in the nursing program that weren't interested in me at all, and they were like doing real work, and I'm doing like an 8-page essay on NBC. Like, yeah. So, but I went to Newman, the Harvard of Aston, PA. And then I did the radio station for 4 years there. My original plan was to transfer to Temple after a semester at Newman. And then I realized that my opportunity to be on the radio station at Newman was better than at Temple. 2 outs for the Phillies, 2-1 still, Arizona. So I stayed at Newman because there was just less competition. And then I got an internship, and then I worked my way up. I was never in Manio, but I'm in Roxborough. But yeah, you know, it's like Manio's hat. But yeah, it's still here, still around, you know. Phil- I love how like Boog and Drunk Philly fan are just gonna spend this entire chat just digging at each other. It's hilarious. Oh, that's gone. That's gone. Bader stays hot. Let's go. Solo shot, tie game. Harrison Bader remains probably, this is crazy to say, the best trade acquisition at the deadline for any team has probably been Harrison Bader. And I still would not, I mean, I wouldn't want to hang out with him. He kind of gives me some different vibes I don't like, but, and meaning like, I think he's probably a little bit of a D-bag, but he's been good for the Phillies. See, you can say both. You can say the guy's probably a douchebag, but he's a really good baseball player, and he's been really good for him. I agree, Boo. Yeah, the Nike stuff, and it shouldn't feel cheap, but it does. I will say the Nike stuff I think is more comfortable initially. Well, maybe that's because I've been wearing Majestic stuff for close to 20 years. You know, like all my Majestic shirts are like 20 years old at this point. Communications major here too. Wait, I missed that. Yeah, I ended up using it, but I can tell you for the majority of the people in my department, for the communications department, none of them really like used their major. Don't talk about the U like that. Sorry, Tip. My bad. The last time I was at Newman was for pictures of her wedding because they both met at Newman. So I had to give a best man speech at their wedding, and I bombed. And there was a lot of pressure on me. By the way, it's a tie game, 2 outs in the 5th. There was a lot of pressure on me because her maid of honor was like, oh, by the way, Tip, if any of her sisters are single, let me know, because just just absolute dimes, like 3 straight dimes. Let me know if they're single and they're in a short guys. But her maid of honor was like, I'm not going after Pat. Like he's funny. Like I'm not going after him. I'm not living up to that. So now like I got like pressure on me, and my first joke did not land at all. And I was like, I was friends with both these people that you see in front of you before they got in a relationship, before they met. I had a great thing going with them, like I would hang out with Tip in the Wawa parking lot, and then Bluto would drive me home, and then they got together, and now I don't really see them because they just went off and they fell in love. The audacity of them, crickets. And it wasn't exactly that verbatim, but it was pretty close to that. And I was like, okay, move on. And I quickly got through my speech. And it still sits with me. And they've been married for like, I don't know, 15 years or something. You ever listen to the Mike Hill Show, a series? I don't, but I know Mike a little bit. Michael, respectfully, I think D'Alessandro's is the worst. Respectfully. Don't hate me. I have strong feelings about D'Alessandro's. They're not good. They're not good feelings. But I think you're great, for the record. I think you're awesome. Brandon, I did Quizzo at the Drake Tavern, and it was actually set up by John Marks. He was doing Quizzo for a bit, and then he handed it off to me. So I did that for like 5 years. It was great. It was like the easiest job in the world. Easy money, too. And they were awesome, and their food is incredible. So if you ever get to Jenkintown, Drake Tavern's really good. Bryce Harper's up, man on first, by the way. The fact that Bader did none of this for us last year makes me even more mad. I think, honestly, Boo, I think that's one of the reasons I'm like still like on him, and really just his personality at this point is because I feel like he still has Mets stank on him. 100% Bader trade. Yeah, well, Jay, he's like quickly winning a lot of people over. And plus, he's got tater tots now at the ballpark. Phillies blow, dog. Sure. I mean, they've got, the second best record in baseball right now. But yeah, whatever you say, man. Best Philly. Harrison Bader is worth every penny we're paying him. I don't think he's getting much. I mean, they gave up a okay prospect for him. So, I mean, but they had prospects to give up. They had, like, the kid that gave up was playing the outfield, and they have, like, 3 or 4 guys ahead of him on the depth chart. So, you and John Marks know each other. Wait. There you go. Harper base hit. All right. So, we got runners in the corners. Yeah, runners in the corners, 2 outs. We did not know each other before the Fanatic. I interned at the Fanatic, and he was, I mean, John's like a mentor in a lot of ways to me. Like, truthfully, like I'll never forget. He would come back, and this was rare. We had a lot of interest at the time. He would come back, and he started talking to us about something. And I was very quiet my like first semester because I knew that I could be pretty annoying, as you guys have figured out by now. And they're having a mound visit, by the way. So I didn't want to be the annoying intern. And because I knew, I was like, look, nobody wants to deal with the annoying intern. He could be the greatest intern. He could be, and I knew a guy like this. Like, he could be great and he could do everything. But if he's annoying, no one wants him in the office. So I was pretty quiet, just kind of kept my head down and just did work. And he came back one time, he was talking about something, and I like chimed in, and he just shut up and like listened. And I was like, oh my God, like I've got this guy's attention. And I just wasn't used to it because I remember my dad took me out to eat like maybe a month in, and he was like, so like, how's the internship, whatever? And I was like, oh, it's fine. He's like, you talk a lot of sports with these guys? And I was like, no. And he was shocked. And I was like, they don't want to fucking hear from an intern. Like, they're on the radio. Like, they know it all. Like, they don't want to hear from me. And John was the first one that would actually like take, what you had to say. And then slowly, other guys started kind of noticing. I knew something about sports, at least a modicum, a little bit, not a lot. But he was the one who pulled me aside and was like, if you want to do this, if this isn't just like for school credit, like that's what you have to do. And always looked out for me, always went to bat for me, tried to get me a job at WIP. Like I can't say enough good things about Johnny. And plus, I think he's insanely talented. I still talk to John. Actually, Brandon, I did an interview on my YouTube channel with John probably like 3 weeks ago. And it's not the worst thing you'll watch. I assure you of that. So yeah, when he was doing his show on PHLY, I would pop in every Friday, and he's awesome, man. Like my claim to fame with John was when he got married, he asked me to house sit and watch his dog. I was cordially invited to watch the dog. So yes, Caroline Red October, very pumped for it. A little nervous about the best of 5 series, but yeah, like, and he paid me for it. Like I would have done it for free. He paid me for it. He's awesome, man. Like can't say enough good things about him. What are the contracts and 2 trades? So Bader's a free agent, and then Duran is signed for another year, Jay. But yeah, there's your history of Pat as runners around the corner. And by the way, if anyone's curious, on my YouTube live stream, when I started that story, like people are like, they dipped. They're like, we don't need this right now. As JT fouls one off. I'm gonna go with JT single up the middle here, by the way, to give the Phillies a lead. That's what I'm feeling. I think they win this game. It's funny because I if anybody was on here, I know Drunk Philly fan is still on here. If anybody was on here that was talking shit on Taijuan Walker, ball. I want to know if you've like changed a little bit. Now that he's probably going to be out of the game, you're going to see Walker Buehler. Are you willing to like take it back? If you don't want to, it's fine. But are you willing to be like, no, he pitched pretty well? Because it's a typical thing with Taijuan Walker. He gives up runs in the first inning and then he just struggles. Like, but then he after the first inning, he seems to be okay. So yeah, I'm curious if you're one of those people. Do you think the Phillies will ride with 3 catchers in the post? I don't at all. I don't know why you would. Usually teams will elect for the extra pitcher, but they'll keep. And I like this isn't a line. Like this is the truth. They will keep Stubbs around. He won't be on the postseason roster, but they'll keep him around solely for vibes, because baseball is the ultimate vibes sport. That's why Kyle Schwarber is so important. Not only is he productive, but like he's like a big vibes guy and great in the locker room and stuff. And after a long, arduous season and intense battle, and you get in the playoffs, you want a guy like it's gonna be out. Yeah, okay, end of the inning. Still 2-2. You need a guy like Garrett Stubbs, who's going to be out there, swinging beers and making jokes and stuff. Like, I say this, by the way, as a vibes guy. Like, I'm in all my hockey teams. I'm not a goal scorer. I'm a vibes guy. I don't know if Nola's washed necessarily, but and I made the point before the season. Like, I was like, I'm done with Nola starts. Completely done with them. I was like, I'm retired. I'm not watching him. I don't enjoy watching him pitch. I don't enjoy the part of my French, like the cock tease, Jay, they do win on Sunday. Of he's shut out for 3 innings, and then all of a sudden the Rab 4th inning comes and he comes apart at the seams. So I retired. I got a bunch of shit. But one of the points that I made, and one of the reasons I retired from his starts this season, was Aaron Nola, since like 2018, since that year that he finished 3rd in the Cy Young, and he was incredible, has a roller coaster of an ERA. 1 year he's great, the next year he's bad, and 1 year is great, the next year is bad. And this year was shaping up to be the bad year. And it's been the worst year of his career. I didn't necessarily predict that. But, yeah, Phillies blow, dude. Yeah, they're horrible. I couldn't agree more, Josh. You slayed with that comment. They do. Yeah. Keep it up, man. You're killing it. I think they should trade him, though, whether he's going to be good next year or not, just because I think Ranger Suarez is better. I don't think you can count on Aaron Nola. No one knows what you're getting from Aaron Nola. The Phillies can tell you they have confidence in him. He's a big game pitcher, blah, 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 blah. Like, no. I think they should trade him. I think they should get out of the contract. They got into a bidding war with the Braves, and they felt like, oh, we can't let him go to the Braves, and they got fooled by it. So Jay popped over on the YouTube, which thank you. Hopefully you subscribed. I don't know, but that'd be cool if you did. And he said Nola's coming out of the pen in the playoffs. I made the point. I did a whole Sean, what's up, man? Not today. Not today. I did a whole YouTube video like this week, maybe last week. Thank you, Jay. I appreciate it because you subscribe. You should all subscribe. About like and this was like a month ago. I was like, the Phillies are going to force Aaron Nola to be their game 1 starter. They're going to force him. He's getting $24 million. There's no way that they don't throw him out there. Obviously, now it's completely changed. Not only can you not throw him out there, it's confirmed Christopher Sanchez, as he should, will be their game one starter. But I made the point of like, you can't even put him on the playoff roster for a best of five. Because in the best of five, you can't afford to just give up a game. You can't afford to drop a game. And I don't care about the lefty thing. But you can't afford in a best of five to throw a guy out there who has a 6.5 ERA. You want to put him on the playoff roster for the best of sevens? Fine. Best of five, you cannot have Aaron Nola out there. By the way, Walker Buehler's out there. And that's where I'm at. Like at this point, I have more faith in Walker Buehler and Taijuan Walker just because those guys are the unknown. I feel like at this point, I know what I'm getting from Aaron Nola. He's going to give me the 2-run home run. He's going to give me the 3-run home run. He's going to give me, a single, a double, a single, and he's out of the inning. Like that's what happens. Josh, keep it up, man. You're almost convincing us of that. Josh keeps saying the Phillies below, and like I'm starting to believe it. 97.5 blows now. Yeah, they've gutted their entire roster. I feel bad that it is what it is at this point. Sean, there's no way, because I'll tell you what, if I do an impression, I'm going to have NBC 10 parked outside of my apartment building, just waiting to flag me down and cancel me again. And then I'm going to have Alex Holly on Fox 29 trying to cancel me. And no, I'm good. I'm good on that. If you meet me at a bar, maybe, but like I have like PTSD from doing it. Walker Buehler strikeout. Yeah, they like. I'm not even kidding. Like when all that stuff happened. I mean, I'll eventually get into it, but I'll just tell you quickly, and then I'll just drop it. But I went out to go run and get food at Qdoba, which, like, of course, Qdoba is the best, and my car was parked next to an NBC 10 van. And they were waiting for me. And I got lucky because like the camera guy's head was down. And I quickly like scurried by and got my car and left. But like, yeah, they were like for 3 days. Shout out to Colin Kaepernick. Because as soon as Colin Kaepernick took the kneel, took all the heat off me for a while. What's your thoughts on the game on Sunday for the Birds? Kim, I think they win. I'm a little worried that Sirianni is like doing too much in the offense. Because every time he touches the offense looks like they're neutered. And that's kind of what I saw on Sunday. But I don't know necessarily if it's the case just because the Chiefs did blitz a lot. Maybe last week was just that. They just had to survive. But what I saw last week in their offense looked a lot like the 2023 team. And the 2023 Eagles that came apart at the seams, Sirianni was all over Brian Johnson, was telling him what to do. So I'm a little concerned, but I think they did win because I think ultimately talent's going to like way out, and they're very, very talented. Ooh, Kettle Marte just hammered one. That is gone. No, it's off the wall because it was dead center, and they have that massive, huge center field. All right, double but 2 outs. Yeah, so I think they win. I said a little earlier, but I didn't really get into it because I got distracted because I'm the dog from up. But I'm surprised Saquon doesn't have 100 yards yet. So I would bet on Saquon to get 100 yards. Although I bet a lot of money on A.J. Brown last week to get 100 yards and a touchdown. It did not pan out at all. But Dallas Goedert's back, so you got to like that. I'm not a huge Grant Calcaterra fan. I think he's like good depth, but that's it. But yeah, I think they win. I'm like uber confident in the Eagles, which I feel like we should be. After the Super Bowl, why wouldn't we be? I think I've caught up on every talent. So if anybody does not know, that is on the chat, and I feel bad for the people that like been here for like a few of these because they've heard it every 10 minutes. But I have a YouTube channel for sports, and including tonight, Kettle Marte is 1,087 hits, third most in Diamondbacks franchise history. Who are the 2 players with more? Oh, well, you got to go Luis Gonzalez, and we'll go with Luis Gonzalez and shit. Who else would they have had? It would have been Matt Williams. Walker Buehler got out of the inning, by the way. Luis Gonzalez and did Goldschmidt have 1,000 hits for them? I guess I'll go Goldschmidt. Who else would it have been? Because for years they've just been like the Diamondbacks have just been like a bad forgettable franchise. I don't know who else would in franchise hit, an all-time franchise hits. Like Matt Williams came to mind, but Luis Gonzalez, I think, is the obvious one. We'll go Luis Gonzalez and Paul Goldschmidt. Anyway. Yeah, so look, if you could click the link in my bio and go to my YouTube channel for sports and just subscribe. I'm not asking you to watch the stuff. I just need subscribers. And it's not like me trying to get like an ego trip. I need it for monetization purposes. So if you could just click the link in my bio, go to the Pat Egan YouTube channel and just subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. If not, hey, I'll never know. And if you have more than one Gmail account, feel free to do that. But I may or may not have subscribed to my own YouTube channel with like 4 different Gmail accounts. And then, if you want to watch the stuff, that's cool. But, if you don't, I get it. Pretty self-aware. So, yeah, hopefully you guys help a guy out. I'm like halfway there. I got like 580 subscribers and I'm like 2,300 watch hours. So like I'm about halfway. That's one of the reasons I did the live chat tonight. It's just an easy way to get some hours in. Which anybody on the YouTube chat that wants to like chime in, it's always pretty quiet in the YouTube chat, which is a shame. I like interacting with people. Obviously, I like interacting with all you guys. Right now, TikTok wants me to invite That's What's Up, and they want me to invite Beckett's 44 to join, but I'm not sure who they are. Random Gamer on YouTube said, "Thank you for being chill. Some streams are just too much." Yeah, I'm not, and I know what you're talking about. I don't know, man. I don't have it in me to like do an acting performance about a late season game in September when they've already clinched the division and act like it is a football game and this is like do or die. I probably won't do a lot of these for the playoffs unless they're in like a clinching situation and they're up a couple games, because I do end up getting way too animated and like way too on stressed and stuff. But yeah, I know what you're talking about. Those people freaking the fuck out in like the first inning and stuff. If it's a playoffs, I totally understand. But if it's especially baseball, because baseball 162 games, like if you lose one, it's fine. And the Phillies are so good that it's, obviously because they already clinched, but like we don't need to overreact to a bad performance in late September. Brandon Marsh, by the way, base hit, another one. People don't know how good radio. Oh, dude. So Arthur Ingy. Well, first of all, so Sean, not on the radio anymore. I'm just doing YouTube. Like and subscribe. Oh, Tyler, you want to go see Turnstile? That's cool. I never really got into them, but I know they're like super popular. So not on YouTube, or not on the radio, just doing YouTube. That's why I'm asking people to like and subscribe. Support the boy. But I met both Ingy and Arthur. So people that aren't aware, Arthur and Ingy were 2 callers, like regular callers at the radio station I was at. And Arthur one time came in for John and Sean on the weekends, which was a show on the weekends we were doing. And Arthur had done time. Like he was connected, like legit connected. And we all knew this because he would allude to it. But when he showed up, I was completely blown away. He shows up. He's got a box of donuts for us. He's wearing a New York Rangers Lady Liberty jersey, and he is a twig. And I'm thinking he's going to be like this big dude, and he's just a twig. And I sat with that dude for like an hour off air and just talked about like the mafia. And it was fascinating to listen to. Ingy is a good guy. I just feel bad because he's like tortured in the sense of he's a tortured Phillies fan who like he spent the majority of the 2018 or the 2017 season with the Eagles and the Carson Wentz debacle, like when when he got injured. He spent that whole playoff run convincing himself that they weren't going to win and the shoe's going to drop, because he had just been preconditioned like every other Philly sports fan to be like, how do we lose this one? And he spent the entire time not being able to enjoy the run. And I don't think he's ever been in a situation where like he's like truly been able to enjoy what we have in Philly, which is not Cleveland, like we're pretty all right. So, but both are really good guys. Like I liked both guys. And then the Dwayne stuff, yeah, like some of the stuff I came up with, I still am kind of blown away by like comedic gold that I would come up with on the fly. Like some of the stuff I would crack up. There was an article written about it it was an op-ed piece in like the Inquirer, and I actually got into it with the woman a couple years later, who she tried to like walk back her comments, and I was like, fuck off. But she had quoted something that I said as the character, and I had forgotten about it. I went back and listened to it, and I was like cracking up at it because I completely forgot what I said. And then years later, she's like, "You're talented," and oh no, I didn't say. I was like, "You called for my job. Like you brought up how much I was. You said that I had like a paid vacation because I was on suspension. I was like, I didn't have a paid vacation, and even though I was suspended for 3 days, it was really 5 days because I wasn't allowed in the office on the weekend, and it carried over. I was like, you didn't know what the fuck you were talking about, and you called for my job. Like, go fuck off." But yeah, nothing but news. Go Phillies, man. Go Phillies. Obviously, always and forever. What's everybody up to this weekend, by the way? Nick Castellanos is up. 2-2 game. Top of the sixth. 1 out. Man on first. Chris. Perfect timing. Hopefully you heard it. 2-2. With Nick Castellanos up. Having a rough year. Stupid Apple TV. I mean, I'm watching on NBC. I didn't even know this game was on Apple TV. It's not an Apple game, is it? I actually really like Apple when they do the games. Like, I'm a big fan of the Apple stuff. Where are you at, Chris? Where are you located watching this one? Would love to see. I don't know what it is, Jay. So Jason on the YouTube chat that he'd love to see Casty going. I know a lot of people are like that. I don't know what it is, man. I love Castellanos. I think it's his like fuck you attitude. I don't know. I've always liked him though. I've liked him when he was in Detroit when he came up as like a third baseman, and I was pumped when they signed him. Like, it hasn't obviously worked out the way they wanted it to, but I've always been a fan of him. I don't understand, Steven. So Steven says I don't understand that people don't hit the like button every time they visit you or your YouTube channel. Yeah, Steve. So, and that's one of the reasons I'll like give you a behind the scenes look at YouTube that I didn't realize when I started doing YouTube for my movie TV show channel. You think it's easy, like, and it should be. Like, you hit like, and there's a reason why all these cringeworthy YouTubers and stuff are screaming like and subscribe, hit that bell icon for fire content. That's not a strike, dude. That is not a strike. Yeah, it's a rough call. That's totally low. Castellanos has enough problems. Like, he doesn't need that shit. But anyway, so the reason they do that, like, it's actually really hard to get people to just hit a button, hit like and subscribe. Now, with that said, like, every woman I've ever been with will tell you it's extremely hard for me to hit a button. So why am I sitting here throwing stones at my glass house? But like, honestly, like, subscribe, dislike, like, if you like or subscribe a video on YouTube, it helps the algorithm. Like, it doesn't matter. That's why I encourage people, like, if you think this sucks, just smash thumbs down. But all I can do is just beg people, and then once I hit 1,000 subscribers, I'll stop begging for subscriptions. Like, I don't, at that point, just let the ads run. But yeah, Steven, I appreciate the kind words, man. I do. Tell these TikTok people to tap the screen. Yeah, just tap the screen. I don't know. I don't like asking people though to like I feel bad asking people to subscribe, but like I need to get monetized as quick as possible. But tap the screen, do whatever you want. Like, it's your world, folks. Can't watch it. South Jersey, originally from Delco. Where in Delco? Because my mom lives in Havertown. Maybe you guys are neighbors. I mean, probably not, but like, she moved there. God, 2004 she moved there. She's been there for like 20 years. Didn't realize time flies. Ridley, okay. Yeah, she's in Havertown near the stadium. And I got to figure out a way to like get her to watch my kids in a couple weeks, because the UFC pay-per-view is the week that I have my kids. And I want to like watch the pay-per-view, and want to like watch it with like a buddy and not by myself. Although I did UFC watch along, like, it was just like a regular card. I did it I don't know, probably 3 months ago, and it actually did pretty well, like numbers wise. I was surprised. But yeah, if anybody wants to pop on over to the YouTube channel, just click the link in my bio and subscribe, please. God, that would help out while we're in a commercial break because they're doing a pitching change. Um, and if not, again, like I get it. I understand. I feel really bad. There was a guy that asked me to subscribe to his YouTube channel. This was like last week. And I was like, yeah, man, like no problem. And I went on his profile to find the YouTube channel and I clicked his profile and the YouTube. I couldn't find his page. And I felt really bad about it because I told him I would. Random Gamer said he loved a good UFC card. Yeah, me too, man. Me too. Yeah, me and my buddy usually we get together at a Buffalo Wild Wings because it's just like D-bag central for UFC, but mainly like the card is free at Buffalo Wild Wings. And but he moved to Reading, so now I usually end up driving all the way up to Reading to like watch the card with him. But he's the only guy that I know that watches UFC like pretty regularly. And he worked at the Fanatic. He was a behind the scenes guy, producer. And I remember I was training him. I hated training people. Hated it. Because I mean, what am I training you for? I'm training you to answer the phone. You can figure that out. So I felt like I was babysitting. And Weston Wilson. I'll tell you, that was the carbon copy of his last at bat. But Perdomo made an incredible play on it. But yeah, Phillies 3-2. Cool. Let's go. Good job by Weston Wilson. That time Perdomo couldn't get to it. Good at bat. Another guy I've kind of shit on, but he's shut me up this game. That's cool. So I the first thing I would always do when I would train people is like, look, I'm sorry, man. Like, I'm probably gonna come off as a dick in this instance. Like, I'm actually not. I just hate training people. Like, don't take it personally. And I remember asking Josh, so you watch UFC? Because nobody did. And he's like, yeah. And I was like, wait, what? And then we ended up bonding over our love of. Man, I don't think he was safe. I don't think Harper was safe on that at all. Harper's still second. And or not Harper, Jesus Christ, Weston Wilson. They kind of look alike when they're side by side. I don't think he was safe, but I need to see a replay of that. I thought he got him. Let's see. Doing the replay. They need to slow that down. Yeah, they're challenging it. And if they're challenging it, that probably is a good indication that he's out. But yeah, now we get together and we watch UFC fights and all that. So, and I usually end up having some parlay and I lose money on it. And we end up getting loaded ice cream at Buffalo Wild Wings at like 12:10 because those pay-per-view cards always end up running till 1 a.m. That was a ball. Yeah. Pipe, I don't know if you were on here when that happened, but I was like, he's got enough problems. Like, he needs that call. That was a complete ball. And I even think his reaction was probably part of like the frustration of how he's played and losing playing time. Like, dude, yeah, he's out. But it was absolutely, and I don't think he's gotten that all season really. There have been a couple instances where like he's gotten bad luck with the umps. Jay said he was blocking the bait. I don't think he was, Jay, but it doesn't really matter. He did his job. He got the run in. So 3-2 Phils. I'm trying to get caught up here. That was close. Yep, all caught up. All caught up for all four of you people. I said it earlier, but I'm going to try to do a watch along on both this, on TikTok and YouTube during the Eagles game, but it's going to be difficult because I have my kids. My one has like drum line practice at 2. So I'll only have the toddler, but the toddler's like, he's actually kind of like all right with watching sports. My 6-year-old is like hit or miss. And I think a lot of that is just like he doesn't understand what's going on. I'll tell you, you don't know how hard like describing sports to a kid is extremely difficult. And I suck at it. But yeah, dealing with like 2 kids in a tiny apartment, and my 6-year-old is probably going to put on his roller skates and skate around. It's tough, but I'll try to do a watch along because I do enjoy doing them. Got to teach him to play first. Yeah, I have, Jeremy. I mean, my oldest, um, uh, Jay, you're not the only one, man. Kate also said that blocking the plate, or blocking the bag. Um, I'm gonna fist fight it up. Kate, I'll tell you what. Kate, I'm not as mad at you as you about it, but if you're going to war, then I'm right by your side. All right. Let me know time and place. I'm ready to throw hands. I'll just need to get a sitter for my kids. But Jeremy, yeah, so Jeremy said in the YouTube chat, I just gotta get my kids like playing. And yeah, my kid plays baseball. My 6-year-old, he plays baseball, soccer, did like a running club. Um Vader's got it. Yeah, good. Um so he hasn't played football. I'd like him to be involved in a flag football. But he's got this comes from me. My 6-year-old's got like a fuck you attitude. Like, oh, you want me to do this? No, fuck you, I ain't doing it. And that's not really great for team sports. And I'll give you an example. He with one out in the sixth, he went to go to soccer tryouts, and for some people they might have heard this story before, so I do apologize. But he went for soccer tryouts, and like the tryouts were show up and have a pulse, and you're on the team. He wouldn't try out because they handed him a penny to differentiate the kids. I was like, dude, do you think I like the names of all the hockey teams I'm on? No, I actually hate the majority of them. But like if the option is play or not play, I'm gonna play. Like that's how hard headed he is. We need a drummer during the Birds game to make it to the cup. Jay, he's actually really good at drumming. Like I think my oldest is gonna be like the music artsy guy, and my youngest will be the sports guy, which is fine and find what you love. But he had drumming today, and the teacher was like, dude, you gotta come and like sing. Like he's actually really good. And he was doing ACDC's Back in Black. And for his recital, he did No Sleep Till Brooklyn. He like crushed it. So he's actually really good at it. Walker Bueller looking good. Ground out to short. Was just listening to Failure by Design. Such a good song. Nick, one of the more underrated songs that like just gets forgotten about. So good. I think I might have had that in one of my videos for like my Elder Emo outfit of the day influencer series that started off as a joke, and now I use it to try to get any woman that's interested. But yeah, dude, I love that song. I miss From First to Last with Sunny. Like Sunny and From First to Last are always going to be a bucket list show for me. I was supposed to go see them at Warped Tour, and I remember losing my mind when I found out that they had dropped off a Warped Tour because of Sunny's voice. I'm not in sports, but I love brand new. If that well, yeah, well there's my brand new tattoo, Devil and God raging inside me. I'm trying to get caught up on the comments. That's okay if you don't like sports, Nick. You're always welcome. Hoping for a D-backs loss, Mike. I am also hoping for a D-backs loss. Thank you. Shit is mad and it's ridiculous. I mean, I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna call Major League Baseball. And I'm going to tell him that this umpire was making fun of Charlie Kirk, and then boom, he's going to be canceled. That was way better than my forced one that I did at the start of this stream. Does Bryson Stott look like Zac Efron, or am I smoking rocks? I personally don't see it, but that's just me. That's one man's opinion. Jay, my oldest does skate. He practiced. He did like a learn to skate, but she's kind of cute. But and he got all right, but he hasn't like stepped on hockey yet. And part of it is like I got bad anxiety watching him, because my kid's one of those kids who like you'll have like all these kids for behaving, and then my kid's the one who's like a dead fish on the ground. So yeah. But Kate, I'll tell you what. If we're talking like Zac Efron, Greatest Showman Zac Efron, I'm sure he would love that compliment. Would love it. I did a whole TikTok about how some girl on a plane, she told me I look 27. I was feeling great. And then she told me, she followed up. She did an Uno reverse and was like, yeah, you look like Alan from The Hangover. And I was like, pardon me, fuck off. And I mean, right now I need to shave, so it's not the best. I don't look the best right now, but I don't look like Alan from The Hangover. He is still young. Oh yeah, Jay, I got time. I started skating when I was 2. When I was on the ice I started playing like hockey competitively, aka like in a league when I was 6, and I fucking suck. I'm horrible. I'm the Garrett Stubbs of my hockey teams. So yeah, like I'm around for the vibes. So we got plenty of time for him to become a men's league hockey player. Plenty of time. Actually, I had a game last night I was playing against the captain of my one team because I'm in like 4 or 5 different hockey leagues. So I was playing against them, and he was playing goalie. He usually plays defense. He was playing goalie in this game. And I ended up scoring on him, and then I circled around, and I put my glove on my stick, and I got next to him, and I did like a fake, like let's take a selfie with a selfie stick. And some of the guys on the team didn't realize me and the goalie were like friends, and they weren't happy with me. I was like, Bud, like we're literally on like 2 separate other teams together. Like we know each other. It's not that big of a deal. By the way, you guys are up 10-3. That was the 3rd goal. You're up 10-3. So yeah, it was the rare time I scored a goal. 3-2 Phillies. Bryson Stott, aka Zach Efron, is up. Yeah, there's another missed call by the umpire. Little off topic, never off topic. Josh, throw them out there. Who you got for the UFC October 4th card? I believe I haven't looked at it, Josh, completely. That's the Jack Metal JDM. That's the JDM card, correct? I believe it is. If not, correct me. You know what? I'll look real quick. I'll look right now. That's the beautiful thing about baseball. It's such a slow sport. Della Madalena. Let's look at the card for you, and I will give you an answer to that. I have slacked. I apologize. Right now, strikeout. All right, so 1 out in the 7th. Right now, Josh is like, I'm stealing your UFC valor. This is stolen UFC valor. You don't know who the card is. Anybody on TikTok? No. Okay. So we have UFC. Harrison Bader's up, by the way. So get ready for a double, single, triple, or a smooth home run. Going through it really quick, man. So I think Islam wins. But like going up in weight, it's gonna be tough. Valentina, I think, is the GOAT. Aaron Blanchfield, Tracy Cortez. I think Aaron Blanchfield's a future contender. Leon Edwards, Carlos Pratis. I go Leon Edwards, just sheer. I think he's still really good, but I also think like his experience will pay out. And then I don't know who that's this 10-0 guy is. I've never heard of him. Bossinger. Yeah, I don't know about that. I can't help you with that one. Angela Hill. Kyle Dawkins is back. Philly's own Kyle Dawkins facing Gerald Mearshart. That's going to be a really interesting fight. Wait, this is not that card. Dude, I am lost. I am completely lost. I got to find the October, the 4th one. D-backs are coming for that bullpen. Wait 1 second. I am all over the place. Harrison Bader single, because of course. Dude, I am a mess right now with this UFC card. All right. Now I actually am like, revoke my fucking MMA fan license because I'm butchering this. All right, man. I got it. I got Alex in this one. He looked really bad the last fight, and I just think he gets back on the winning track. I just don't think that. I think Alex's power is going to take over. I think Ankalaev's good, but and I think the UFC is also hoping that Alex wins because having Ankalaev and having Islam and like those guys, like it just doesn't sell. So it is 3-2 Phillies, 7th inning. Jay. I love Corey Sandhagen. I actually love both these guys. I love Marab. I love Corey Sandhagen. Been following both of them for a long time. And I would love to see Corey get the belt, and he's not going to. Marab's going to do Marab things. I think that's the lock of the century. I like Joe Piper. I think the best thing that happened to Joe Piper was he lost to oh my god. I can fucking picture him. He's like the Swiss guy. And I like him too because he always does the heel hooks. Jack Hermanson. I think the best thing that happens, he lost Jack Hermanson. I think he's going to now know how to pace himself. And I didn't know that was like 2 fights ago, but I like Joe Piper in that one. Yuri and Khalil is going to be an interesting one because Khalil is so technical and poised and focused, and Yuri Prohaska is not. And I think Yuri just drowns him with that and ends up finishing him. I really like Josh Emmett, Yusuf Salal. Like that's going to be a really, really fun fight. I will take Yusuf Salal because he's been on tear. Macy Chiasson versus Yana Santos. Like he really gives a fuck, but Macy Chiasson. Edmund Shabazian's been really good since he left Edmund Tarverdian. And I think he continues to be. There was a time where I thought Andre Nunes was going to be a future like true contender. I'll take Shabazian in that one, and then Fareed Basharat versus Chris Gutierrez. That's a really good fight because Basharat's been really good, but Gutierrez is. I'll go Gutierrez. I'm not super familiar with Gottler versus Ozzy Diaz. Schwarber's up, by the way. 3-2 Phils, top of the 7th, 1 out, 1 man on. Sorry, somebody on YouTube asked me about the UFC pay-per-view. The fact that Patchy Mix is on like the early prelims, not a great time, but he'll get back in the win columns to get right fight. Pony Hilo Soriano's back. Hopefully that answered some of your questions. Hopefully. If not, I apologize. Alex first round KO. Yeah, I think last fight it was just like, and then this time we see this with every fighter. Like you win so much. It's just like it's the struggle of like being a champion and dealing with the belt. And they've all talked about it, and like eventually you just drop one. The tedious, the media circus and all that, it gets too much. But yeah, he was too cautious last fight. He was like frozen. It wasn't the Alex we know, who just goes out there and like just slowly walks you down. Hello, Leo. How are you? Man, that UFC talk though had everybody leaving my TikTok live. Everybody checked out. They were like, "Yeah, we don't give a fuck." But always welcome to talk any sport. Oh, struck out. He could not hold up on that. 3-2, 2 outs. No, Josh, it's fine, dude. I don't give a fuck. I'm not making money off these. Perfectly okay. I don't get a chance to talk UFC with a lot of people. And that's probably because, Josh, when they ask questions, I find it's a completely separate fight card and start breaking it down. Then I'm like, wait, this doesn't make sense. This is like half a card. It's like, oh, yeah, dipshit. It's probably because you're looking at the wrong card because you've stolen MMA valor. You're the same name as my late grandma with the most respect. Your grandma was a legend. And we pour one out. We remember her today. And I appreciate the fact that you said that with the most respect. And I say to you with the most respect, Grandma Egan, up there. I'm sure she was a great woman. Great woman. All right, Bryce, here we go. Ground. Oh, no, it snuck through. Base hit for Bryce. All right, so runners in the corners, 2 outs. Every once in a while, someone will be like, oh, are you related to like so-and-so? And I'm like, no. I have no idea who that is. But that's cool, man. I'll tell you, they were in college when I was in 2008. I did we had to do a paper on like somebody that shared our name. And I did a compare and contrast on this guy named Pat Egan, who was he was a pitcher at the time at Quinnipiac. He was a 2-star athlete. He was the ace on the Quinnipiac team, and he was like the really good basketball player on the Quinnipiac team. He was like a power forward. He was like 6'10", and obviously I'm 5'3", and I did a whole thing about like, yeah, we're basically the same person. And he ended up actually making the majors with the Brewers. He was a Rule 5 pick by the Brewers. He ended up making the majors, and now he coaches at Quinnipiac. He's a baseball coach there, and the only reason I know that is because somebody DM'd me their film. They're like, hey, I hit like 83, and my slider breaks this much, and looking for an opportunity. I was like, bro, I hope you get that opportunity. I'm not the Pat Egan, the coach, man. I'm Pat Egan, the slapdick on TikTok. Like, that's me. But I wish you nothing but the best. Like, I hope you get that scholarship because I know it's tough out here. So yeah, 3-0 by the way, 3-0 count for Real Muto. Abner doesn't look like he's great. He's like he's struggling. Mine was a Philly, just spelled his last name wrong with 2 X's. Yeah, man, he was. I think I know who you're talking about. He was good. No, I don't know who the fuck you're talking about. Hit thumbs down for that, but yeah, I wish it was. I have 2. Neither of them were Philly sports, but the one was a Bruins defenseman, and the other was this guy, who's still very much alive. Walked him on 4 pitches, so bases loaded. Bases loaded for the Phils, 3-2 game. Nice to have an insurance run here. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's what I thought it was, but I wasn't sure. Because I knew a guy named Josh Fox, and I didn't know if you were him. So initially I thought it was Josh Fox. But yeah, Jimmy Fox was like, good at sports. He was good at baseball player. I don't know if Pat Egan was a good defenseman for the Bruins, though. Man, I think like TikTok, like everybody went to sleep. I think I peaked at like 10, which is pretty good. And now we're down to two loyal people. The 2 guys that were fighting in the chat, they left, unfortunately. That was cool for a while. They were just going back and forth, just hating on each other. And I think eventually they're going to realize, if they look in the mirror, they're the same person. But I'll tell you what, I'd rather argue about a fight with people about sports than other things right now. All right, Brandon Marsh up, bases loaded. All I've done is shit on him. All I've done is shit on the guy. Time to shut me up. Ball. Okay. You can tell the catcher really wanted that one. Oh, Josh, Jake said we need a big hit here. I agree. Yeah, this would be really clutch to get an insurance run. Ooh, first strike in last 5 pitches. I'll tell you what I wish what the Phillies would do, like Phillies fans would do, and it's rare it happens, but if anybody has ever seen what Texas A&M does when a pitcher loses control. So if you walk somebody on 4 pitches in Texas A&M, their crowd starts chanting ball four until you throw your next pitch. And if your next pitch is a ball, they start chanting ball 5, and it's in unison. It's incredible. And they've had pitchers shook where they're yelling ball 10. Now, these guys are major league pitchers. It's not gonna be that long, but it'd be great if like 40,000 people were chanting at this dude, ball 5. Moot point. They're not going to do it, and it's a 2-2 count. 2-2 count, 2 outs. Brandon Marsh trying to shut me up. That'd be cool. My phone's at 12%, so I'm probably going to have to change the angle to charge it for a bit. Now Marino wants to talk to him. Oh. Man, the lack of sleep is starting to hit me. Kind of like the D-backs uniforms. I'm usually not like a City Connect guy, but kind of like these like teal, purplish. It's a horrible haircut on the guy. Jesus. Arizona's uniforms tonight, they look like Arizona Fall League. uniforms or like a minor league team. But like, and I mean that as a compliment. All right, 2-2 count. And here's the pitch. Dude, this ump has been horrible. Now, that was a strike. Not saying it wasn't a strike, but it was a ball 3 pitches ago. Bases loaded, struck out. That's the end of the inning. So now we can all sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." Yeah, this umpire's been like all over the place. The uniforms are terrible. How many colors can you throw on there? I'm weird, man. I kind of like it, but like most of these, like I hate the Phillies City Connect uniforms. I think they're horrible, but for whatever reason, I kind of like these. But maybe it's because they look like a created team. Maybe that's why. We're down to one person on the TikTok stream. Maybe I should like just stop it and then we'll just focus on the YouTube stream. Because at least I have 7 people over here. Let's go. Huh? 7 people watching this. Yeah, you know what? I'll do that. I'll charge my phone. And everybody that watched on TikTok, thank you. I do appreciate it. And I will hopefully see you. Hopefully I will see you guys, Eagles and Rams, when I do this. Josh, I don't like any of them, man. Any of the Phillies ones. And I think it's just the color scheme. You know, it's like you take a team that's like red, and now all of a sudden they're blue and yellow. I don't even like the hats. Oh, let's see what text messages I missed. Did I miss any? Did anybody? Nobody? Sorry. Underscore. Someone asked me for my Instagram. All right, Walker Buehler's back out. Sometimes you need to shut down the TikTok and then reopen it. Will help sometimes. You need them to share. Tap the screen. I didn't know that. Yeah. I'm getting back to like DMs that I like missed while I was on the live. I'm not gonna like reopen it though, but you know, it's one of those things like I'm just doing it for fun. If people want to watch, great. If not, like whatever. All right. All right, we're back. Sorry, I was like answering text and stuff. I think the Rocky City Connects are solid. I actually do like the Rockies ones. Like some of them are good. The Nationals a couple years ago were horrible. Like the flower stuff, and it's just like, no, I didn't like those. Some of them I do like, but I mean, we all know what it is, right? Like we all know it's a shtick for like more money and selling jerseys and all that. Like, you know what I would have liked to see with the City Connect ones is if they did like an homage to the Blue Jays, that would have been cool. But just doing the lazy, like we're just gonna do the Philadelphia colors. Does anybody remember the Eagles doing that with the Frankfurt Yellow Jackets? Like, it's just an ugly color scheme. Really, really ugly. Although my memory of that game is the Eagles putting 50 on Detroit and Kevin Curtis scoring like 200 yards. But weed to get supplies in the morning. Oh shit, I forgot to take my dad back. Riley is good with pizza. And then water is cool. Just no raw egg. Have huge success. Nationals should have done expos. Yeah, Josh, like you're right. Like they should have, or Jimmy, Jesus, dude. So as I said, I know a Josh. I see Jay Fox. I think it's him. Yeah, they should have done expos, like just an homage to the old team. Like I would have rather had that than. But I guess that's not the point of the City Connect, though, right? Because it's like, well, if we do expos, it's for Montreal. That's not our city anymore. Let me actually look at some of the City Connects real quick. Bueller is looking good. I really like that signing. I like the Tim Miza signing, the Bueller one. Like those are two just like low and no risk. But Bueller especially with the way that Nola is pitching, to grab Walker Bueller that late in the game where he's pitched in the playoffs before. I'm not telling you he's going to be lights out, but it's pretty clear that like Boston didn't work out. He needed to change the scenery. And I also think too, Caleb Cotham is one of the better pitching coaches in baseball. And I mean, the proof is like Ranger Suarez and Christopher Sanchez. Like if you look back in the comments when the Phillies made the Christopher Sanchez trade for Curtis Mead, everybody was saying, oh, the Rays won this one. Christopher Sanchez became Christopher Sanchez thanks to Caleb Cotham. I mean, he's helped a lot of these guys. MLB City Connect. Jerseys. Let's see. Just plain. All right. You know what? And it's plain. It's very plain. But I'm looking right now. St. Louis Cardinals one with just the Lou. I like that one. I like that one a lot. Blue Jays is horrible because you can't read it. Don't like the Mets because of the Mets. Not a huge fan of Los Angeles. Alec Boehm's up 3-2, top of the 8th. Oh, Seattle's are nice. I really like Seattle's. Oh, man. You got to catch that one, Chief. Right off your glove. Alec Boehm, safe at first. Yeah, I really, really like the Mariners ones. Astros ones are nice. Giants are horrible. Giants are real bad. Oh, God. I don't like the Rockies, man. I'm looking at it now. I don't like the Brewers one. Red Sox one I like just because of the green monster thing. I get that. Kind of like the Braves one a little bit. Like a throwback. What is that? Kansas City. I kind of like Kansas City's. Don't like Cleveland. Like that's so lazy. CLE. That's it. That's the best you guys came up with. Yeah, I don't like Pittsburgh's either. Sorry, Josh. I do apologize, man. I'm crushing you right now. I don't like the Pittsburgh one. Same thing. It's a PGH. We can do better than that. San Diego's horrible. What is this one? Oh, the White Sox. White Sox one would be good, except it looks like it is a, it looks like it's a baseball jersey from like the fashion company South Pole. It just says South Side on it. Like that's not good. I think I covered them all basically. The Chicago ones are interesting with the Bulls, but that makes sense because he owns both teams. Oh, you know what? The Rockies one's with the Rocky in the back because I was looking at that one. That one's nice. Oh. All right, Boston are cool. Has to go with the green. Yeah, I do like the Boston ones, man. Those are neat. All right, Nick Castellanos is up. 2-2 count. Guys had some problems this thing. Pitch should have brought back their old school hat. I didn't like the painter stuff. I've never liked those though. Yeah, not a fan of them. But teach their own. Oh, Nick. Nick says, "Go fuck your strike zone." Bang. I think this is why I like Nick Castellanos. Okay, it's not happening often, but when that man hits a home run, there's a swag about it. There's a swagger about his home run. You know, I mean, when Bryce Harper and Kyle Schwarber hit home runs, it's violent. The baseball is dead. You're sitting there like that baseball had a family. When Castellanos hits it, it's like this big like just like fuck you. Love it. Let's go. Cassie's back, folks. So back. We're all big Castellanos fans. Massive 5-2 Phils. Let's go. And that should pretty much do it, you figure. But now with 5-2, I'm throwing Walker Buehler out there for the eighth inning. Someone just messaged me on Tinder and they just put yo. There's no way this girl is real. Yeah. This is like stock photo after stock photo. Oh, I can't wait to mess with this person. Hey, all right, let's see how long before they ask me what's your snap. That's the big one. Hey, I'm gonna delete this real quick. What's your snap? I don't know. I'm 36. I don't have one. It's my snap. All right, Weston Wilson's up. Oh, Tinder's. Yeah, it's hot. It's hot garbage. He feels like a dick version of Hoskins. He feels like dick for. That's such a good way to put it. Yeah, Tinder's garbage. I mean, they all are. If we're being real, they're not great. It's like you got a match, and then you're worried about not worried, but like half the battle is the matching, and the other half is just getting a response until you finally are able to get a phone number, and then at that point, it's like, okay, there's another one. This dude has the lowest. This is why. And look, they're up 5-2, right? It doesn't matter. They're gonna win this game, barring a collapse. But and I was talking to a guy at the bar last night about this. To ask a usually 50 to 70-year-old guy to stand behind two human beings and to guess where a 95 mile per hour fastball landed in an invisible box is absurdly dumb when we don't have to. And tonight is an example of like, we don't have to do this. Believe it or not. You know, we have options. It's just dumb. It's just fucking stupid. How I messed do I? Dude, happy 95th birthday to Adeline Egan. What? Meemaw Egan? I'm not related to her. But shout out to Meemaw. Oh, I'm gonna have to follow this person back on Instagram, and I don't like doing that. Oh, I don't like doing that. Minor league use new robot. Yeah, so what they were doing, I believe, with the minors was, and this is what they should be doing here, is they have the challenge system where basically, like, if you think it's a ball, you just quickly tap your hat or your helmet, and then they quickly, like, they look over and somebody confirms whether or not it's a ball or strike. Like, it's that easy. It's not just straight up like robot umps. It's, I guess you still have the ability or whatever to like fuck up a game, but yeah. Harrison Bader up now. Sorry, I'm like answering messages and stuff. He struck out middle of the eighth. Let's see who comes out. I'm throwing Walker Buehler out there personally, but that's just me. All right. I'm gonna have to. Fuck. Um. Big Wilmington Blue Rock fan here. I've been to their stadium before, man. Matt, yeah, I think the challenge system is. I think the challenge system is just the most likely, but I do like it. I like what they do with the whole like. We're not sitting there screaming at an ump, and I'm sitting there going like, "Nope, that was a strike," and you're like, "No, it's not." But I think it'll be implemented next season. But yeah, I went to the Class A All Star game down in the Wilmington Blue Rocks Stadium like years ago, and Ben Lively started the game when he was in the Reds affiliate. Former Philly great Ben Lively, who's now back with the Reds. Please talk amongst yourselves real quick. I have to DM somebody. Uh, oh, Jesus Christ. We're in political fucking season. I forgot. Crush that. Okay, we're back. We're so back. Ooh, Tanner Banks Foreman. He's been a good acquisition for the Phillies. I said this on another live. That's a trade that is going to end up working out, I think, for both teams because William Bergola, the guy they gave up, is playing really well in Double A, and he's headed to the Arizona Fall League. But I think that's going to be a deal that ends up with both, especially when what's his face went down, when Alvarado went down. Classic Delaware field trip to the Blue Rocks. Man, I'll tell you what, Matt. I don't know how old you are, Matt. Let me know if you're comfortable with that. When I was growing up, my like summer camp, we would do like business person special day games, but then they'd make us leave, and I hated it. They would make us leave like early to get back for pickup, and I was pissed. But we would go to the vet. We'd sit in the 9,000 level. Tickets were dirt cheap because the team was terrible, and you weren't going to sit 70,000 people. And I remember they played the Giants one series. We went for that game. Barry Bonds was on the team for the Giants, and there was like bad blood between like both teams for whatever reason. They were throwing at each other all series. And as they were trying to get us to leave, the bench is cleared. And I'm like, we're not leaving. The bench is cleared. but you're like 9 years old, 10 years old, so you're forced to. That's gonna. Well, no, he's out. Oh, here we go. All right, so this answer to the question, including tonight, Kettle Marte's 1,087 hits, third most Diamondbacks in franchise history. Who are the two players and more? I said Goldschmidt and Luis Gonzalez. I'm going to turn this one off.
The other one I think is one of my favorite all-time players who's still playing. Had a tremendous career here. It's Goldie, Paul Goldschmidt. Gotta be.
Nailed it, folks. Fuck out of here, huh? To the one guy who said I don't know ball. Nailed it. Thinking back on it, I was the one guy who said I don't know ball. So, in fairness. All right. Base hit. Yeah, leaving early. Yeah, it sucked, man. Like I was always, and I still am. Like I'm a big proponent of you stay until the end of the game. Like no matter what, you don't leave early, you stay. I mean, even the Temple OU game that I was at, I was the last one standing with the group. It was me and I think 7 or 8 other people, and I was the last one. And they're getting shellacked 48-3, and I'm like still sitting there, still watching. I mean, you could always like just jump on and make a bet. You couldn't do that then, obviously, but I've always been a big proponent of like you stay till the end. You never know what happens. I've seen great comebacks, but at that point you're in a summer camp. You can't be like fuck you. I ain't leaving. Well, nobody was pulling a Jordan Belfort. I'm kind of shy. But wanted to say I thought she was gonna say I'm kind of shy, but hit me up on Snap. She said I'm kind of shy, but wanted to say hi. How's your day going? Great. That's okay. Shy can be cute. It's coming. The what's your Snapchat is coming. This girl is not close to being real. All right. All these bots, man. These damn bots hitting you up. And they're just so lazy with it. Has anybody else dealt with the random text or just like, hey, how's your day going? Corbin Carroll popped up. Really, really, really strong performance from Walker Buehler so far. Because I got like 2 today that were just like, hey, I saw you yesterday. Are we still on for brunch? And I'm like, what? My uncle took me to Mad Phillies games, Flyers games as a kid. We always stayed till the last play. Always feels great. Yeah, because you just feel like Matt, like you got rewarded for like the loyalty. You know what I never understood with baseball was the people that like they would leave. You like let's say you go to a Phillies Diamondbacks game in CBP. The Phillies are losing by like 5 runs. They would leave after the Phillies played the field. I'm like, look, if you're gonna leave early, like I'm not gonna convince you otherwise, but why don't you at least stick around another half inning? Because they're obviously not coming back if they're playing the field, but they could come back if they're at the plate. That always made no sense to me. My fake text addressed me as Francis. Mine today was Tyler. Oh, is this Tyler? I'm like, no, not even close. I don't even look like a Tyler. Uh, 2 outs, by the way. 5-2. My back is killing me. I'm at that age now where my back always hurts. Wow, he called that a ball. I mean, with this guy's it was a ball, but like with his strike zone, who the fuck knows? All right, so it looks like they're doing a well. No, they're not. He's got 2 outs and 2 guys on. I think he's just trying to get through. He's at 53 pitches, so um, ideally, you get through this and then you bring in. I guess I don't. You bring in Duran, but I don't know if it's really necessary. I mean, I guess look. I understand it's a safe situation, but this dude, Jay, he's so bad. He is so bad. I need to get like a foam something. I just end up taking like aspirin, man. Um, a part of the problem is this is like me. This is a hard headed example of like how hard headed I am. I ripped guys for stretching for years. Like when I would get on the ice and I'd skate around and stuff, and people were stretching, I'm like, I ain't stretching. I ain't no bitch. And they would kind of criticize me, and I'd be like, yeah, I'll stretch when I see a lion stretch before he attacks a gazelle, which I still have never seen. The problem is I have played with these guys for a decade. All the guys that I shit talked about stretching, they all heard it. If I get down and start stretching, I want to hear it. So I don't stretch. And then I do these, like when I do these live streams, I'm not really like sitting back. I'm like kind of hunched down. And then it ends up just crushing my back. That's why like I have this pillow here. Because I bought this couch on Amazon, put it together, and then like the couch is fine, but the cushions they gave are, oh my god, they're so uncomfortable. All right, 3-1 count. So if he loads the bases here, you gotta pull him. Brewers lost. Let's go. Yeah, you're right. I didn't realize the Brewers lost when I made that idiotic comment. Thank you for keeping me humble and hungry. Obviously, yeah. If the Brewers lost, you bring them in. Although I don't get the sense though that like they're scoreboard watching, but all right. 3-2 payoff pitch. Fouled it off. All right, payoff pitch here. He walked him. Fastball. It was outside. All right. Bring in Tanner back. Bring in somebody to like close it out. He's pissing himself for not getting that. Yeah, they're gonna do a pitching change. All right. For the 5 people that are here, thank you by the way. What is your score prediction for the Birds on Sunday? If you are an Eagles fan, if you're not, that's cool. But yeah, let me know. Tanner Banks will be coming in. Man, they brought in Tanner Banks, and I went from 5 watchers to 4. Crushing. Oh man. Birds 22, Rams 14. That's not like I can't argue. That's like a very realistic score. I'm like, this team is too talented to just put up like 22 points. You know what I mean? Or even 23. Like this team should consistently be putting up 27 points a game with an offense like that. Should be. Oh my god, Josh, that would be amazing if they did that. I forget who. I think it was Shane Gillis. I'm not a huge Shane Gillis fan, but I think he was the one who was like, if they want to really piss off the NFL, just keep running. No, you know what? It wasn't Shane Gillis because it was like Anthony Jeselnik or somebody. It was somebody that like doesn't really. They admitted they don't really follow ball, but he was like, yeah, just run it nonstop, like nothing but the tush push all game. 20 plus is usually enough. No, you're not wrong. All right, Tanner Banks, base is loaded. Pat's yawning. Still have work to do too. That's the problem. I was like hoping for like a quick game so I could like get some videos done for my movie channel that I slacked on all month. I gotta get Gen V recap done, but I've been slacking. Just trying to think of something to do for like this YouTube channel today of like just a topic, but nothing's really coming to mind. Popped him up. We got 75 guys going after the ball. Let's go. Out of the inning, 5-2. Oh, you just finished The Boys? Dude, The Boys is so good. Although I do think that it's run its course. I don't want to say anything. Well, there's 6 people on here. I guess we can talk about The Boys during a commercial break. It just seems like every year it's the same shtick of like, we're after this guy, we're after this guy, we're after this guy. Fuck, I guess we need to like join forces with him for an episode. All right, we'll let you go, and then it's next season. But The Boys and Gen V have always been pretty good for my one YouTube channel. So, but I hate the way that Amazon does it because they drop 3 episodes in one day, and that crushes me. Because every YouTube video I do for my other channel, it takes like 3.5 hours to put one video together. So, it's tough. But yeah, the first 3 seasons were great, and then like the last season was like I was like, all right, it's time to wrap this shit up. But the first season was so good. I'm glad we're all in agreement with that. All of us coming together on a YouTube stream. Oh, my Dodgers are beating the Giants again. Tell you what, if the Phillies and Dodgers match up in a best of 5, I feel like that is such a shame because both those teams I feel like are pretty evenly matched. I would love to see them in a best of 7. I hate the fucking best of 5 so much. Hate it. But I'd love to see both teams like actually matched up in a long 7-game series. But I'm kind of cheering for like every team going against the Mets right now, like chasing the Mets, I'm cheering for. So yeah, and Matt, like I've said it before, I hated the 5-game series. Like when the Phillies benefited from it in 2022, I would have told you the same thing. Like, I just don't think it's a good indictment of the best teams. Because if you, and I'm not saying this happened last year with the Mets series, but it might have. And it might have happened with the Phillies and Braves series the one year. But when you have like the team that's hot, they're riding the wave into the playoffs, and they're like the hot team, and they go into best of 5 series, and they win game 1, and they put the team that had, way more wins, their backs now against the wall. Like, dude, that's, it's, but I feel like if that team that's riding the wave, if they win the first game of a best of 7, it's completely different. Seth, I told this story on my TikTok account earlier that you didn't ask for, but you brought up Kershaw retiring. Back in like 2009, I bought tickets for Phillies and Dodgers, and I bought them in like April. And I came back to see. I bought them in the Philly Stadium. And I came back to see some. But he was like, "Why'd you pick the Dodgers series?" Because I bought all 3 games for the Dodgers. And I was like, "Oh, they got a pitcher right named Clayton Kershaw, and I want to watch him pitch." And he looked at the fucking whatever it was, like the iPhone. I don't know. He pulled up the rosters or something. Or anyway, he was like, "I don't see him on the roster," and I was like, "Oh, he's in Double-A." Yeah, he'll be up though. And sure enough, like he was when the series came around, he was up. He was pitching out of the bullpen, but he was up. He's an all-timer. And you know what I love about Kershaw is the fact that he is retiring as a Dodger. I love when guys retire and they played their entire career with one team, unless that one team is the Mets. But if it's any other team, I love it because you just don't see it. You don't see it often. I mean, there's guys in the Phillies organization. I wish, obviously J-Roll and Chase but it's so unrealistic. The fact that he played his entire career with the Dodgers I fucking love that. And the Eagles have a lot of those guys now. Like Lane Johnson's never playing another game for another team. Bryce Harper's up, by the way. 3-0 count. Sorry, my dad texted me, and I had to get back to him. All right. All right. So quick update with a man on, 1 out. JT up. Okay. I was mentioned earlier. This girl, this clear bot on Tinder, right? She goes, "Oh, thanks. That's really sweet. I'm blushing a bit. What makes you say that?" I just wrote the word cute. That's it. Not you're cute, not what's cute, just cute. She responds with, "Oh, thanks. I'm blushing a bit. What made you say that?" Like, these bots got to get better. It's so lazy. All right. Come on, JT. Cut out some 45-degree April games, maybe season. I see. That's the thing. I don't like the idea of cutting out the games. I'm fine with the way that I just don't like the best of 5, but they're never going to go back to the way it was. But I don't like limiting the amount of games. But I feel like a lot of people would probably agree with you, Josh. Where like limit the season. It's so respectable to stay in one place. Yeah, 100%, man. I mean, I love the fact that like BG retired a Bird, Lane Johnson, as I said, Kelsey. Well, there go my glasses. They're back. You just don't see it in sports, man. If you can do it, and a lot of these guys too, they'll end up like taking quasi pay cuts to do it. Not necessarily like, they're struggling, but they could probably get more money elsewhere. But there's a human angle to it of like, no, I don't want to move my whole family to like so and so. I mean, like Brian Westbrook playing the 1 year in San Francisco, like that sucked, right? Matthew Saffron is at Dodgers game today tonight. Who's that? Oh, Matthew Stafford. I assume you mean. Yeah. Yeah, it's the age. Hey, did anyone know that Matthew Stafford and Clayton Kershaw are buddies? They played high school together. But that's cool. Oh, that's in the gap for a double. Oh, ground rule double. That would have had Harper going home. Damn. Went in the pool. That is one cool thing about the Diamondbacks is they have that pool. I wonder though, like I've never looked it up. I wonder how much the pool tickets are. The one Met I hope he stays with one team and does is Pete. I absolutely hate him. Yeah, it's funny how, and it was like Mad Dog Russo brought this up, how the Mets were like celebrating, like, oh, he's got the most home runs in Mets history, and it's like you guys didn't even want him back. You kind of took him back because he went and tested the market. And no one really wanted him, and he's a good player, but I think he is the Oppo Kyle Schwarber with like the vibe thing that I always bring up about how like baseball's such a long season. You have to have a good guy in the clubhouse. That's gonna drop. There you go. Bohm's gonna bring in 2. So now it's gonna be 7-2. You don't need a save situation. Yeah, like you can't tell me any of the Mets want to hang out with Pete Alonso. So if he wants to stay with the Mets his entire career, it'd be fitting. All right, Nick's up again. Remember last time he went yard. Uh, Stafford's a really good quarterback, Seth. I just wish him nothing but the absolute worst on Sunday. Um, but yeah, he's a really good quarterback, and I hope he gets sacked 10 times on Sunday, and then for the rest of the year, I hope he has a. Is that going to drop? That's going to drop. All right, Nick Castellanos having a career game. Look at that. Brandon Marsh coming home, 8-2. Floodgates opened. Surprised you're not on PHLY yet. I am, believe it or not, but not in the sense you probably think. I write their minor league updates. So every week, for like their diehard level that they have, I do the top 3 minor league players of the week. Then I do the top 5 of the month. I've appeared on a few shows, but I was on consistently with Johnny Marsh every Friday until he left. But yeah, I mean, all my buddies are over there. Jamie and Devon and Tyler. Oh my guys. I don't think he's a good guy either, Josh. Like I think he's a guy that probably rubs people the complete wrong way. Like I keep bringing up how I probably think Harrison Bader's a douche. There's a pretty good chance he's like a really great guy. All right, and I've just got him like completely pegged wrong. I don't think there's anyone that's gotten Pete Alonso pegged wrong. Like I think Pete Alonso is an absolute D-bag that people don't want to deal with. And I think Pete Alonso is a guy that when the team goes out to dinner and Pete Alonso shows up, everybody's looking around like, who the fuck let Pete know where we were going? I think that's Pete Alonso. He's really good. You just don't want to deal with him. All right, Weston Wilson time. Where's his hot wife? I will never see Weston Wilson and not think about his hot wife. 97.5 is shit now. Sorry. No, I don't. Sadly, I don't disagree with you. It's not the talent that's there. It's the management and they've stripped down. They're stripped down to like spare parts. I mean, they have like nobody there that's full time. They don't pay people. Harrison Bader is a douche for sure. You could tell guys weren't jiving with him when he showed up. Yeah, he just to me, I'm never gonna be like, man, I want to hang out with Harrison Bader, but he's playing great, so who gives a fuck? But yeah, he's just looks like a kind of a douche. Pete Alonso is unreal. He knows how to hit. He does. He absolutely knows how to hit bombs. Seth, you are correct. But if you're somebody that turns people off, you know, you need a good clubhouse dynamic, and it doesn't matter if you're hitting, all those home runs. I mean, you're seeing what the Mets are doing this season. They're not exactly thriving, and they have a close to a $400 million payroll. So I'm not saying that's all Pete Alonso, but like, I do feel like you see a difference between the way that Pete Alonso handles himself and the way that Schwarber handles himself. With that said, maybe I'm completely off base with it because Harper talked about them possibly signing Alonso last offseason. So I haven't seen an update on Turner other than the fact that he like started running in a pool. I'll hang with HB. Seems like he is a. Let me know when you hang with him. Let me know, man. Good. Read your pieces on PHY. Oh, thanks, Steven. I appreciate that. You're the one guy that reads my stuff. All right. 2 men on. 3-2 count. 1 out. Otani hits 52nd home run. He is almost tied with Kyle. Otani's unreal. Here's a quick Pat might know ball story. I'm in a deep fantasy baseball league, like very deep, and it's an auction league. You throw a guy out, everybody has $100. He flied out, and so it's gonna be 2 outs, and you start bidding on the guy, right? Towards the end of the draft, though, when everybody's down like $1, you start throwing out names of guys for like 10 cents. And the idea is like, I'm going to get them for 10 cents, and then they're a cheap signing for the next 2 years. You can sign a guy for 2 years. I had Otani when he was in Japan. I paid 15 cents for him. So essentially, I had him for the first 2 years of his career because you can have a guy for 3 years total. So I had him. I sat him on my bench for the whole Japanese run. He comes over. He was not really good because Mike Scioscia, who might be the worst manager in all of sports, had no idea what to do with Shohei Ohtani. And as soon as Mike Scioscia got fired and they brought in Madden, all of a sudden Ohtani was locked. And the problem is he was now not on my team. I have a lot of stories like that of like, oh, I traded for Strasburg and I have him for 2 years. Oh, he just blew his arm out. But yeah, I had Ohtani. I wanted Roki Sasaki, but all of a sudden the guys in my league started copying this formula of like looking up who the next great Japanese sensation was, and they all started, bidding my guys up. So I signed oh God, what's his name? The guy in the Mets right now. And the only name coming to my mind is Roki Sasaki, but it's not obviously because he's a Dodger. Forkball, Ghost Fork, Ghost Kitchen Fork guy. Why can I not remember his name all of a sudden? I'm having a stroke. But that guy whose name, because all of a sudden I don't know ball. I had him signed, but I quickly traded him because he was a Met. I have no Mets on my team ever. But yeah, so now I have. I'll tell you right now who I have. I have 2 Japanese players on my team that I'll sign. I know the one is Murakami, the third baseman. 2-2 count, by the way. Runners on second, third, first, brace and stat. The one is Murakami, and he's coming over next year. And he was injured a lot this season, but he's usually like an absolute fucking stud over in Japan. And the other guy is, where you at? Tatsuya Imai. He's a pitcher. So those are the 2 guys I got. And then I'll sign both those guys for 2 years, and hopefully they don't suck. But yeah, Otani is like crazy. Bader's a big Zen guy. Dude, there were guys on my hockey bench last night that were what do you say about? Do you say what? How do you don't say smoking Zen, but you dipping? I don't know. Whatever it was, they were doing Zens. I hate dynasty baseball in general because of that. It just seems like I always draft the right guys every time, Matt. Every time, like without a doubt, I'm going to draft a stud, and someone else will benefit from them in 3 years. It's actually impressive when you look at the amount of guys I had that were good for a bit, and then fell off. The average good jab, the Asian player. So Josh, they actually Cody Senga. Thank you, Isaac. I don't know ball, man. Hit thumbs down for that. How do I forget Kodai Senga? I don't know, maybe because he's in AAA right now. But yes, Kodai Senga. Thank you, Isaac. Again, hit thumbs down, man. Don't know ball. So Josh, to answer your question, they kind of tried. They signed this guy, Koye Oyogi, this last offseason. It was a closer in Japan. And initially, he started out in AAA, and he was really good out of the pen initially. And then the wheels fell off. And then they put him down to AA. He got lit up there, and then they released him. So, but they that's the first year they've tried. They've tried to get meetings with these guys. Like they tried very hard to get a meeting with Yamamoto, who was a guy I tried to get in this draft in this league, but couldn't because the rest of the league had jumped on the train of like let's get Japanese imports. But they tried to get a meeting with Yamamoto. He would not. Sasaki, I guess, had made it known like he was only going to go to like I guess the Padres, Dodgers, or Mariners. And that's the thing. A lot of these guys will only go to those West Coast teams because it's just closer to Japan. And then on top of it, the Dodgers have had a long story career with getting these Asian players, starting with oh my God. Why am I drawing a blank on everyone today? I'm having like a bad memory day. And I can picture him too. 1995, because he had to retire in order to become a free agent in Japan. And I cannot, for the life of me, remember who it is. And someone will say it on here. And I watched a 30-minute documentary on him like a week ago that the Dodgers put together. Oh, my God. What's his name? It's tough when I'm under the pressure because I don't want to sit here and have you guys look at me as I think for a minute and a half. I also don't want to look it up because I know. Oh, my God. Who was it? I almost had it. Fuck. Oh, my fucking God. Dodgers, mid-90s. Nomo. Everyone go follow Isaac. He knows way more ball than me. Yes, Hideo Nomo. Oh, my God. This is the most embarrassing live I've ever done. It's like, yeah, who is that player? Anyway, just trying to say they have a long history with these, treating the Japanese and Asian players like right, starting with Nomo, which if you don't know what I'm talking about, the Dodgers put a 30-minute documentary about how they got Nomo, and it's really, really good. There's also an ESPN podcast all about it, and it's really fascinating. They basically had to – there was no out clause in the MPB, and he basically had to convince his team to allow him to retire. Like he convinced that he was in a contract dispute, and one of the threats they would have is like, well, then we'll just retire you. And little did his team know that's exactly what he wanted. So they retired him. He okey-doked them, and then he was able to sign with the Dodgers. And I guess initially he was going to go to the Yankees, and the Dodgers won him over, and he never got on the plane to go meet with the Yankees. But he signed with the Dodgers, and the rest is history. But NBA, that's a joke. Why do you say that? Oh, ready for the NBA season. I'm actually ready for the NBA season too, as a Sixers fan, which is pretty rare. You're not going to find many Sixers fans that are ready for the NBA season. But I'm pumped for the NBA season because I think the Sixers are going to be like sneaky good. But Ben Simmons will be playing. Ben Simmons is never playing again. Unless like a team gets desperate. The fact that he was offered a contract by the Knicks, big market team, and granted it was the minimum, so he didn't want to be embarrassed to take the minimum. Game over, by the way. Phillies win. But the fact that his agent was like, all right, dude, like, there's nothing I can do for you anymore. Kind of tells you all you need to know. Like, he wants a certain deal. He doesn't want to get embarrassed. But he also has made so much money. He doesn't have the love of the game. He's done. He's like completely done. And it's a shame because like that it's he needs to be studied. It literally needs to be studied. But all right, look, this was fun. I hope you guys did Nomo start the trend with looking for players in the market. He kind of did because up until that point there was an agreement really between like Major League Baseball and the MPB of like not poaching the players. It's really good. I tell you, like just type in like a No More documentary. But Walter O'Malley Jr. went over to Japan and saw him pitch and like kind of fell for the guy and was like, if there's any way that we can ever get him. And Nomo was done pitching in Japan. He had done everything he could and wanted to test himself against Americans. And but like, yeah, I mean, Japanese baseball is completely, it's different. Like they have this high school tournament real quick, and then I'll leave. But they have this high school tournament where like, you know, over in America, it's like pitch count and you protect the arm and all that. In this high school tournament, guys will pitch 3 days in a row and pitch 150 pitches every day. It is crazy. Like you look up some of the legendary performances, and like I remember Daisuke being one of them, where he pitched an insane amount of pitches in like a 3-day span. The fact his arm didn't fall off is insane. But you know, I think a lot of times they have 6-man rotations. But when he came over, it started the opening of the posting system. And it fits that it was the Dodgers, though, because the Dodgers were like the forefront of, you know, the Jackie Robinson movement, obviously, of breaking the color barrier. It's not like they were the first player to sign anyone from like Fernando, but, you know, he was big at the time. So it kind of fits that they were the first ones to start. But now it's, you know, it's their, I feel like the go-to place. If you're a Japanese player, you're like, I want to go to the Dodgers. And if not there, well, I grew up watching Ichiro. I'll go to the Mariners. And yeah. All right. Hopefully I redeem myself and you guys think I know ball. I will hopefully be doing one of these during the Eagles Rams game coming up on Sunday. I said it a few times though, but I have both my kids, might be tough. So you might have to deal with like toddlers screaming in the background. But if nobody has subscribed yet, if you could, I'd really appreciate it just because it helps me get closer to like being paid. But yeah, and if you don't want to, I'll never know. But thank you for coming. I will leave. And we're going to end.